You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Show here on Woodward Sports 2.0. Excited to have you guys in, joining us on this beautiful hump day, if you will, Wednesday. Gonna have some great conversations, some fun conversation, but first and foremost, we will say hello to my co-hosts and others. Anson Wells, how you feeling today?
I'm mad.
I'm
sad.
You stay mad. Let me do this. Justin Satawa, how are you doing today? How's your day going thus far?
I
feel like there's
fantastic.
I feel like there's a rant brewing with Anson.
It's coming.
So let me go in reverse order this time. My right hand, Justin Satawa. How you feeling over there, bro?
Oh, I'm feeling great, baby. Thank you for asking. I had a great date with my girlfriend last night. We hit up a little Condado's Tacos, got a little margarita action going.
Okay.
Then, just had a good
night. Are you of legal drinking age?
Yeah.
Do you ever eat at home?
Sure we drink responsibly over here, man. 100%.
I don't know, Juice knows
Shout
how
out to
cook.
tacos.
Oh,
and
dude, I actually do know how to cook. I'm a pretty good cook
But
myself.
I believe that. But do you ever eat at home?
Yeah, but we've been eating at home a lot, me and her at least. I
takeout at home?
Dude, shut up. All right. I'm Anson. Don't eat McDonald's or you're gonna fucking die.
How was the Condando? We've had this conversation, man. Condando is either hit or miss. When it is hit, it is amazing, and when it is miss,
a hit.
It is so mid.
Yesterday it was a hit.
Yes.
It was a hit.
Which one did you go to? The one
I
in
went
Troy?
to Troy and Troy.
See, I knew it. I knew it had to be that one. Be lad. How you feeling over there, man? I see you back in the building throwing the deuces up like Chris Brown.
Be lad in all black today.
What's up, y'all?
What the hat down, man? He's got the vibes going on today. What's up, y'all?
Shout out Purdue. Shout out to my youngest sister committing to Purdue.
Purdue.
She's awesome. Let's go.
He's got like
Boilermakers, baby.
He's got like the cool like white boy NSYNC vibe going on right now. Like throw the hat on when they get on stage. They got the moves, but they still from the suburbs.
Living out here, baby.
I know he rolled it all cool today.
He did. Speaking of cool, he is the king of cool, Anson. He is Sweet Potato Cam. Sweet Potato, how you doing?
You know, life is great, life is good. Woke up early to this dry Canadian air. Enjoy my coffee even that much more.
Like, I love when the description actually hits in it, and that description hits you to a T. Anson, all right, you have the floor. The rant is brewing. The rant is here. What is the rant?
Uh-oh.
R.I.P. Center Street Garage. And I am not happy about it.
Okay, barking.
I'm glad Gordon's not around because he's still drawing my ire over this thing. He's championing the destruction of the monument that is the Center Street Garage of Royal Oak.
All right, fill everybody in on what exactly it means.
Well, listen, I already melted down once. I hate the new structure. It's seven stories tall. No one knows how to drive in it. The parking spot's perpendicular instead of on an angle, and the up and down, it's on the same lane. They're not like on the opposite sides of each other, like a well thought out parking structure. Doesn't help that my spot is on the 6th floor, and they don't have my sign up, so I got a ticket, which they did take care of it. But they put a fence around it today, Braylon. So the jackhammers are coming, and I am pissed. I just wanted to take one more walk through, and you can't even do that.
Royal Oak problems.
All right, so,
yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously.
And so I'm glad you bring this up because I was actually talking about how good the Odyssey was. I feel like every time someone new has seen it, I got to jump back into a conversation with them. One thing I appreciate about this movie is you're talking about an old-ass book, the Iliad, and an old-ass book in the Odyssey, and somehow Christopher Nolan has made it relevant for everybody to be talking about the historical value of the books. I think that part is cool. That being said, you're a bit of a drama queen. Bit of a drama queen. And I mean that in all due respect. I don't know how that conversation will go into 2026. I say that in no disrespect, shape, fashion, or form. Who would play you in a biopic?
Oh, well done.
Like, who would play you in a biopic?
Well done, my friend.
Show who would play you in a biopic? Because
I
got
two eras? Just one era all time?
I mean, it doesn't have to be all time, but don't
Double up the eras.
Don't take. I'm not trying to go back to
Ryan Gosling, bro.
Oh, I can see that.
Especially when you look at Remember
in
the Titans.
My more handsome era.
Okay.
People mistaked me on occasion.
Okay.
I laughed
that.
in their face.
So,
I don't see it, but I will take it. I did have a jacket.
Ryan Gosling, like if he didn't get a
Drive.
lot of sleep.
From
Okay.
Driver.
Ah.
I actually had a jacket very similar. I didn't have the whole dragon thing going on, but it was a
How tall is Ryan Gosling? Like I feel like all those guys are short.
I mean,
Are we
virtually
doing,
all of
are we
Hollywood
doing this?
is.
Are we doing this? This heightest thing again? I gotta walk into an office with 6'4", all of you guys. Riley, B-Lad, this dude, even you, kind of yoked.
Riley is deceivingly large.
Yes, he is. He moves everything around the studio for us.
I said I wouldn't say pause. I said I wouldn't say it. Sweet potato, yours is pretty easy, man. Like everybody knows from the chill vibes.
Yep.
I think there's only one person.
Texas draw.
I think it's only one per 100%. And he was on the sideline, unfortunately, when Texas beat us in the Rose Bowl in 2005, and that would be one himself. All right. Little Matthew McConaughey.
The older I get, they stay the same age.
You even got the Texas bloodline, kind of.
I do,
This
yeah.
is true.
I mean,
UT.
Yep. I got a hybrid accent too. Everyone says, "Where's that accent from?"
Yeah.
Yeah, where is that from, dude?
I mean, it's all throughout. So my job down there, my last job down there, which I worked for 5 years, included calling and talking to individuals throughout the entire state of Texas. So like,
So you
I'm
spent
getting
some
all the
time.
draws from west to east.
Did you say you're getting all the draws?
Draws.
Oh, okay. I was you was out there getting it in.
Well,
You know what I learned
Enjoying
about
yourself.
SPC yesterday?
I was just enjoying yourself.
You know what I learned about him yesterday? He spells potato with all A's.
potato. Yeah, that's what a sweet
Potato.
potato.
I love that.
Potato.
That is so
Sweet
SPC.
potato. Yep. Tomato.
Tomato. Potato.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay Satawa? I know
I'm
you're
curious to hear
the
this.
younger variety, so I'm expecting to get an individual that's hot and peaking now. Would I guess maybe a Timothy Chalamet? Maybe.
Oh,
I could see Timmy C playing me, especially with his recent more down-to-earth moments with the
Okay.
Knicks, okay? You know, real fan, and I respect that, okay? I respect Timmy C's fandom. So it would be him. I could see it. But the other person I could see is a personal favorite actor of mine, and that is Tom Holland. I think with a beard and some long hair, like we could see some resemblance there. We're about the same age. He unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, good for his own health journey, but unrelated to my story, he just became sober. So he's gonna have to cut back on that if he wants to play me. But it's all good.
Shout out to Tom Holland, who's one married to the beautiful Zendaya, or Zendaya, however you pronounce it. Did a hell of a job in the role as Telemachus, who is Odysseus' son. He did a really good job there. I think he
did.
showed another element of his acting skills, so he actually moved up a notch into it, I believe.
what about you though, Braylon?
I-
Who's playing B?
It's tough because even the person I came up with, like, I don't necessarily agree, but I'm scanning through the perils of Hollywood. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of representation. I digress. That was a joke. I'm 6'4". I'm black. I play football. I'm trying to figure it out.
LeBron.
Like man, I almost had to put one in the F jar over here. You better watch yourself. No clowns over here. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is the name that comes out just because he's the one doing it right now. He's played Creed. He's played in Athletic Roles. He's played in the action sequence. I mean, he's a little bit goofy too, but I guess I'm goofy too. Man, maybe Michael B. Jordan. Because anybody else is older.
Can
Or
absolutely see that.
like I saw like Daniel Kaluuya maybe, but I don't know.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
one of one. Braylon's one of one.
the individual that I may have used a couple years ago, unfortunately, is no longer with us, and that is Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman. I think the movies you see
That
him
would
in-
be the perfect one, I think.
because he nailed James Brown, he nailed
Jackie Robinson.
Shout out to you, he nailed Jackie Robinson.
That's one of my favorite movies ever, Braylon.
And he played Thurgood Marshall. Like, you're talking about
Hey.
three completely different individuals, had different genres of life, etc., different eras of life, and I think he nailed them all. So
The funny thing about
Probably
Michael B.
Chadwick.
Jordan, to play you, he'd
Like-
have to beef up.
he had he had to be Killmonger. Like,
I know.
Like,
And he'd have to beef up from that.
He had to be a mixture of Killmonger and Creed.
With
And
all
it-
like the scar tats that they had all over him. He looked pretty awesome in
It's
that.
probably easier to emulate a boxer, like a believable boxer, versus emulating a believable wide receiver. Like, I see a lot of movies where, like, they play football players. You're like, man, cut it out. Like,
Yeah, the shoulder they
what was that?
miss on the shoulders. It's always
Yeah.
the shoulders. They can and the pads never fit right. I'm with you, Bray.
Yeah, 1,000% the pass. never
Randall
fit
says Denzel, a young Denzel.
I appreciate that. Shout out to a young Denzel Washington. Glory. He won his first Oscar in 1987 or so.
Randall also super chat $2 just to tell you that's a badass hat.
Hey, I appreciate it. This was my good luck hat. all last year, and we talked about it on the show. Every time I wore this, the Pistons, they won the game,
Until that
including
last
games.
one.
I wasn't at that game.
Okay.
I wasn't at the game. I chose not to go.
Speaking
to
of super
that game.
chats,
get him involved. What's up?
tomorrow, D-Mac signing this 100th anniversary Red Wings puck Friday.
Dang, I want
we
that.
determine a winner. You are not eligible, Mr. Potato. Anyway, 3 S's. Smash, share, super chat, guys. Smash that like button. Let's get us to 50 by the first hour. Let's get us there in the first 30 minutes. Get your super chats in. For every $2, you get a space on that prize wheel.
Get your super chats in, man. Let's have some fun today, man. If not, get your comments in there. Anson will read them. I'll take a look at my phone, too. We want to keep engaging with you, bring you guys into the conversation. The conversation is we're going to start with some Lions. Start with some Lions topics. A little bit
I'm
of
not the
training
only
camp,
person
if you
pissed
will.
in town, Braylon.
100%. It seems as though the better and bigger and more notarized your team is, the more issues that you deal with. Training camp is no different. When we get back, we'll talk about the issue is that training camp tickets. First, Anson, get us in on. Actually, I'll go first. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Over 2,700 gyms around this country. This is the gym. This is where people come to get that workout in, whether they're starting, whether they continue, or they're excelling their journey to the next place. It's the gym for you. You come on down, march to the beat of your own drum, because there is no judgment. There's also a super clean gym. And last but not least, like I tell you, there are trainers on staff. Come on down to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
You're building a whole combat sports enterprise in the heart of it in Detroit, and that's what I think is the coolest.
I think with opportunity, right? Like you said, maybe you like to punch people in the face for real, and you know you want to be a boxer, and you have an option there. Maybe you don't like getting punched in the face, and you want to make, you like the theatricals and the storylines, and so you have an avenue here. Maybe you start at one and then want to change to the other. I don't care. I just want you in the building and know that you have some place to go to explore that. Just having the ability to, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it to the best of your ability? And, it all starts with the kids.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Is time to get to the store and get yourself something cool. And it's time for All Day IPA from Founders Brewing. They've been on top of the IPA category for 15 years because it's not bitter. It's balanced, citrusy, and refreshing with that 4.7% alcohol by volume to pace you throughout the day. So when you're grabbing something cold this summer, make sure it's an All Day IPA from Founders. But when you grab something cold, make sure that you drink it responsibly.
And we are back. So, are any of you guys planning on going to Detroit Lions training camp this summer? Did you jump in the queue to get your tickets yesterday or days before because you got the early insight? What did you find when you did that? Did you find that it was buffering and buffering and buffering and buffering and buffering and buffering and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes? And then finally when you get through and you requested 4, it's telling you it can't happen. So by the time, if you were able to sneak through the queue, you had to get one ticket by one ticket by one ticket. Well, that's just what happened with Detroit Lions fans as they tried to go to training camp. In the queue yesterday, as soon as they jumped in, no matter if they were on time or not, it held most individuals to 30 minutes or more. And the resounding result is most people were told that they could not get tickets for camp. And actually, we even have a picture of exactly what you would see after you waited for 30 minutes. This is what you would see once you got in. Website encountered an unexpected error. try again later.
Shout out Ticketmaster.
And 100%, as you try later and later and later, it was just more and more impossible. Over 10,000 people waited and were not granted tickets. The best situation was one at a time. Justin, now I know you tried to get tickets. How was your process? How was your experience? Was it similar to what most people are talking about and complaining about online?
Oh, absolutely. It was so brutal. I walked into the office. I also didn't even know that they went on sale, so shout out to me being outside the know. But I walk into Booner and Jeff and Caleb all trying to get tickets, and I'm like, oh, let me try to get tickets. I sit and I open my laptop. I get into Ticketmaster. It's like not letting me get into the queue for about 20 minutes, and I finally get in the queue, and there's 6,000 people in front of me in line. I go outside to do what I do and then start doing a couple tasks. I come back in like 30 minutes, and I haven't moved at all. And at that point, I was just like, all right, fuck this. I'm not sitting here for another 30 minutes to go to training camp. So if you have any training camp tickets and you want to bring the boy, let me know. Hit me up. I'd love to go. I don't have any tickets.
And the problem is, too, in the chat, or excuse me, in the queue, there's people were in there from ranging with single-digit queue numbers all the way up to tens of thousands of queue numbers, and all had to wait. A major flaw was that waiting line wasn't a properly gating access. It wasn't allowing the gate access. Fans quickly discovered that closing the browser, refreshing directly, or opening the Detroit Lions mobile app allowed them to bypass the waiting line entirely and grab tickets while those sitting patiently in the queue got locked out.
Screw that.
The backdoor channel.
Cool.
The backdoor channel.
Glad I knew. Cool. Thanks.
This is absolutely crazy, and that's like I said. It said trying to claim maximum allowances for tickets frequently triggered system errors. You had to go in one by one. Do you think that the Detroit Lions should have this fixed by now? And the reason why I ask this question is I know once you get to a team, it's that team, then it's Ticketmaster, and there's a long line of listing play accesses that you have to get through. But the Lions have had issue with their tickets. Last year training camp, the training camp before that, last season there were issues. There were issues a couple times. In fact, there were some games where people couldn't get into their tickets 30, 40, 50 minutes before game time. Lions got to do something because this is getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't understand why teams don't handle their own tickets. Like, there's plenty of secondary sites to be able to trade and sell tickets after the fact in the secondary market, but
the Lions they handled some of their tickets last year, and that's what pissed the fans
throughout their own website.
Yeah, and that's why they were making money, and that's why like the prices went up on the tickets last year. That secondary market. The Lions were the second.
Ticketmaster is charging less.
The Lions were secondary market last year.
I hate Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
I think we've all hated Ticketmaster for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
To me, like, there's so many different ticketing services that you can use out there. Why do you go through the one that constantly has issues? This isn't a new thing for Ticketmaster. I think, honestly, this is more about the choice of your carrier and your ticket seller than it is really on the Lions. I mean, they provide the tickets. These are the ones that are supposed to make it happen.
Sometimes when you use old, outdated systems just because they've been in place for so long, the relationships, the partnerships, the money that you're making together, the deals and contracts that you've already agreed upon, that's why they're still working with Ticketmaster, because there are a bunch of newer secondary markets, whether it's SeatGeek or others, that work a lot better than Ticketmaster. But money is money. They've been locked in at the hip for a very long time, and they refuse to go other places. Also, there's something shady going on.
Why is this such a big deal? I've never been one.
To
change my mind, but like, I don't understand why people are so upset about training camp.
Well, training camp is a great time. Like, if you can't afford tickets to go, because you don't have to pay for tickets.
They're free.
They're free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just jump in there.
Makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
People like free.
People like free, and people like the training camp experience. I think it endears you to the team just that much more. Obviously, a lot of people can't afford to go down to Ford Field, jump in the car, pay $90 a park, get the family the hot dog experience for $150. They don't have that, but when you get to training camp, you can get a free ticket, get the family out there, and you create moments forever, and you create, fans forever. Fans that love the Lions and want to cheer for Lions for years to come. I always like training camp because of the connection to the fans. Like, because after every practice, there's fans. There's a different day. Fans have been out there. They've been in that heat just like you've been in that heat. They've been watching you practice, cheering you on. They're there celebrating you. So after practice, man, you get a chance to sign those autographs and take those pictures and have those moments. Like, I think it's super dope when fans lean into it. That's a really good picture from Aiden, who I think does it as well as anybody as it relates to leaning into the fan base and the community. it's just fun times. And then they have, all types of individuals for you to come around and see, and it's cool. Like, I like that engagement.
B-Lad,
Yeah.
do you go to these?
Never been to one.
Never been to one.
Never been to one.
Do you want to?
I mean, it would be interesting to go see. I don't really see a point in it, to be honest with you. Like, it's not the final format, I guess. I know how training camp works, and I know what they do there. And
But
the only reason why I haven't been to a training camp is because I've been in training camp. So.
And see, that's what I was about to say. B-Lad is speaking from the experience of being a collegiate football player,
In the heat.
being through a training camp, and understanding that you're not going to see, what you see on TV, or you're not going to see what you see when the season starts, or you're not going to see when it's 1-versus-1's game 2 of preseason.
Right, because I'm also not trying to put the wrong idea in my head either. If I see someone struggling out there, I'm automatically going to be concerned. At the end of the day, training camp is where they grow and they learn to be prepared to play in the regular season. So it's just, one of those things where you just got to trust it and just wait till you see the final format, in the middle of the season.
Yeah, but everybody's not watching with that, at trained and keen of the eye. Like, you're going to a training camp. You're going as a football player. What am I looking for? What players are injured? What players are hurt? What players are they featuring? What players are they going to? Who's struggling in coverage? Who looks like they're out of shape? Who looks like they didn't train in the offseason?
Yeah.
So you're looking for those things. Man, 90% of the fan base that's going out here, they're looking for a moment. They're looking for a chance to get Jack Campbell to sign an autograph after, get a picture with, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Panay Sewell, or just yell and be in the space. And also, like I said, it doesn't cost.
These aren't fans. These are fanatics.
Well,
These are deep Lion fans. They want the autographs. They want the hat. They want the picture. This is not for people that have gotten 30, 40, 50 years of disappointment and they're kind of I guess I'll watch it on Sundays. This is for people that just don't stop loving the Lions ever.
Which is not a bad thing at all.
No.
Another thing is, too, if I were to go to a training camp, I would watch how players are when they're not, I guess in the middle of drills, for receivers, for example.
Culture.
If I see receivers making good releases, winning their one-on-one battles, especially a receiver that I haven't seen or heard of before, especially if it's a guy that's trying to make the team, I would start to root for them, and then I'd probably feel some type of way if the coaching staff either moves on or puts them on the practice squad or something like that, and I'd be like, man, I saw that guy in practice, he was tearing it up on one-on-one, so at a joint practice, even though they're not doing joint practices, but just for example, that's something that I would look at too personally. So.
Okay, this is fun. You just gave me a topic. I'm gonna pose this to the chat too. I want to get you guys in on this conversation. If you went to training camp, what group would you follow behind? Ooh. What group would you follow behind? B-Lad, I'm gonna throw it right back to you. Right now, you're going
QBs
to
and receivers all day long. And
honestly, so I was gonna ask you to be non-biased since you are a receiver. But
my non-biased DBs.
So you want to see what's going on with them. What would you expect to see?
I would so if they were doing one-on-ones, team one-on-one reps, I would like to see a good 50-50 split. Now, I know Amon-Ra and J-Mo, we've seen the clips where they're absolutely doing them so bold. Obviously that's cool and all, being on the receiver side. And in IRL one-on-ones, we're all hyping each other up. And one-on-ones, we're all on the sideline watching our boys in our room torch the DBs. That's fun to watch. But at the same time, it also kind of leaves that lingering thought in the back of your head, ooh, what's that going to look like on game day? Are they going to be getting routed up in man coverage like that every single play? Who knows what's going to happen? But I want to see the DBs physical. I want to see little to no. I want to see physicality, but no penalties. That's the main thing. They're allowed to throw the flag in one-on-ones if it's a blatant holding.
Okay.
But we've seen at least the clips from minicamp too, J-Mo's dusting DJ Reed already. We see, that kind of stuff, and it's just
that's gonna happen.
Of course, J-Mo would dust anybody in the league. Let's be completely honest. But that's the kind of thing that I just look at.
Especially somebody that goes for the same freaking move every time at the line of scrimmage. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Look, we're also gonna do today Braylon's top 5 bounce back players, and what I mean by that, last season has to be better this season. I got 5 players for you. You mentioned a couple players. I got a couple players in this list that people are going to be like, huh, him? Yes, once I explain it for sure. DJ Reed, spoiler alert, is definitely on that list. I digress. Go ahead, though. Be like.
Yeah, exactly. I just playing in college too. The receivers are always with the QBs, always working on timing. Whenever we finish up our, team period one-on-one reps or skelly, it's always routes on air. It's always us getting together in a walkthrough, calm format where we're dissecting the operation of each route.
You're dissecting, all right.
And it's I don't know, it's satisfying to me, to see the whole operation behind it and how they can come up with the creativity, especially when I wish I was able to go to a joint practice when Ben Johnson was here with all the hook and ladder plays that they were drawing up. I would love to see them walk through that, run through that on air, because then that puts a sense in your mind, like, all right, we're actually going to see this on Sunday. If it's working in like a Skelly or a team period, you're going to see it on Sunday.
So you know what I love about the question and love about the answers, because when we originally asked you, would you go to training camp? Like, you set up here and was like, nah, I wouldn't go to training camp. I'm above all that. You know, I understand
I'm not saying I'm above all that.
Then I asked you, who would you follow?
I would.
Then I asked you who you follow, and you've been talking for the last 8 minutes.
Yeah,
You just been going on. No. It's good. It's passionate. You would want to go to training camp. That's what I gathered from your conversation.
It would just leave like a taste in my mouth that I probably wouldn't like at the beginning, because obviously at the beginning it's not going to look good. Sometimes you'll see some flashes here and there, and obviously improvements as the weeks go along.
Note to self. We're going to jump in this queue and we're going to get B-Lad training camp tickets.
For
Don't
real.
you worry. All right, Justin, what about you? What group would you follow behind?
The same thing B-Lad just said. Unfortunately, I think that with the question
How
of
original.
the defensive back room, I do want to see them match up against our star-studded receiving core. I want to see them put in that work. Like, I want to see Keith Abney on how he looks when he's guarding a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, if he's going to end up playing in the slot, or guarding a guy like Jamison Williams on the outside, and just starting to see those matchups, like seeing what, McCrary has, and like all that type of stuff. Like all these, like a lot of our question marks. And then if you were to challenge me outside of that, it would be the defensive line. I really want to go ahead and I'd want to see Tyleik Williams. I'd want to see Aleem McNeil's improvement. I want to see what everyone sees on Levia Ozarike, because I don't see it on Sunday, but I hear about it every single training camp. So I would love to see what everyone else happens to see when they're at training camp. And those are the two. All the question marks around the team would easily be where I would be going to follow.
Anson, hell of a line with the defensive line. I believe that's where I was going to lean, but I may have something for you. What do you got?
I mean, I probably want to have eyes on Blake Miller. I think it probably, for me, would be a year-to-year thing. Default, I love corner and free safety play, but for me, each year it'd be somebody different. I put my name on Blake Miller. I'd be watching him. I got a different question for you, though, and I'm sure you might want to answer this one here. I need to know what bubble careers you ended in training camp. Because there were some corners that were matched up with you that were on the bubble, might have made the team, but maybe they should have been going against not you in practice.
I buried a lot of dudes.
I know. Tell me one.
I don't necessarily remember names. Like, they weren't there long enough.
Damn.
Yeah. They're not memorable
That's
at this
tough.
point.
I'm just
I
saying.
know.
Rayon, you're tough, man.
Come on, there's one.
That's tough.
You know, there's
remember, but
one
they're
name,
buried.
man. Maybe a vet that could have been, but he retired after he had to square up with you in training camp.
Oh, Sean Springs. Remember Sean Springs from Ohio State?
Big old boy too.
Yeah, Sean Springs is one of the best.
6'3", something like that.
Sean Springs is one of those dudes, man, coming to Ohio State. We got a little bit older, and this was
So you ended
my
a
second.
Buckeyes career. I bet the Michigan faithful.
This is like my.
hate that.
It's like my third. It's like my fourth year with the Browns, and he came in training camp trying to see if he still had it, and it was like,
You're like,
nah,
damn,
man.
Bray, slow down.
nah, man, get
Take
to
it
me.
easy.
I feel that, though. You're not really paying attention to the.
You are, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're more focused on yourself and what you can do to impact the team.
Like guys like that, were they going to get cut, were they not going to get cut? They were younger, undrafted free agents, whatever. Like, I remember more of the receivers. The guys that I was working with, the guys I was in the room with, the guys. I remember kind of like those guys. Like, DBs, it's like, I got enough stuff to worry about. So, nah.
Facts.
Me, I would add edges to defensive line, and I would follow them around. Like, I would bounce between the edges and the defensive line. Like, I absolutely want to see what it is about Tyleik Williams that made them draft him last year. Like, I still have questions about him. I still want to know. I still want to see, just in a practice form, what does it look like? What does it look like when he's processing information? What does it look like for Aleem McNeil? Because, spoiler alert, he also might be on that list. Like, for what we're paying him, he's got to be a better version of himself this year. And I know he's fully healthy, so that is to be expected, and I think that's fair. I want to see that aggression that I saw in Aleem 2 years ago when I saw him and Quentin Nelson go into that room, and I saw one man walk out, and it was Aleem McNeil. I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what Wonham looks like. We keep talking about DJ Wonham. We keep talking about it's going to take Derek Moore a second, and then he might get in there. Who was Wonham? What is DJ Wonham? What did they see in Carolina? What made them go get him 4 years after he's had 2 major surgeries? I want to see what that looks like. The defensive line is the conversation that we have been having for the last 6 years. It's the only continuous one. Maybe defensive back, but I feel like the defensive line more than the others. It's the one we've been talking about. So that's the group that I will follow around and watch during training camp. We got more on the Lions and more on the division as a whole. The division as a whole, top 7, and what that means is division winners +3. Who makes the playoffs this year out of the NFC? Shocker, the Lions may not be on everybody's list as division winner. We'll have that when we get back. But first, let's get a message in from the Water Hazard.
Let me tell you about Water Hazard. Water Hazard is a clean, refreshing cocktail, lightly carbonated, 5% alcohol per volume. And look, whether you're on the golf course, on the lake, or hidden in Art and Jake's, because they have it at every location, make sure you tap in with a refreshing, clean cocktail like Water Hazard. Founders has been in the game for so long here in the great state of Michigan. They know what they're doing. It tastes like a Baja Blast. So make sure you tap in today with Founders Water Hazard.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at deadcityfc.com.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, you've been seeing them all around Metro Detroit for the last 30 plus years. It's the Aldo Eye Center, the absolute leaders in LASIK surgery with over 100,000 successful procedures in that time. LASIK, you've heard about it. Any questions you might have, they're going to answer them for you, but I'll give you the basics. It's an 8-minute procedure. It's painless, and pretty much everybody the next day is seeing 20/20. So regardless of what your prescription might be today, you can change it tomorrow. And for only $16.99 per eye. We've partnered up with them for a summer special. Again, head over to their website or call them at 248-553-9800, and they will tell you all about it. I know you've been thinking about it. It's time to make the call to the Aldo Eye Center.
Shout out to the Aldo Eye Center. If your eyes aren't where you want them to be, well, they can help you out in that department. Now, before we went to break, we talked about top 7 teams in the NFC, 4 division winners, and 3 wild card spots. The article came out, and we processed it. And yes, Rando, I understand. Lists are like buttholes. Everybody has one. But we also have our own version of this list, so we thought that'd make you a little bit happy. Jay, throw up the list, if you will. Let's see what it looks like, see if the Lions and where the Lions may potentially be, and we'll go from there. All right, Sam Block, it's your turn today. Yep, your Lions are in there, but they are not division winners. They are in second spot as it relates to wildcard teams. Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Now, division winners, NFC North champ, Chicago Bears. Oh, no. We'll stick with this one. Just read it out. Philly, Seattle, Tampa Bay. So the first thing I look at this when I see this list is I just see no parity. I see an individual that's not necessarily paying attention to what happened last year or what's happening in the offseason this year. I just see
that's pretty much what happened.
Chicago won
right?
last year. Let's put them back on there. Well, Philly found a way to win again. Let's put them on there. Seattle Seahawks. Well, they won last year. They surprised some people. That defense of Mike McDonald. Let's leave them on the list. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sure, why not pick Baker Mayfield in the NFC South where you don't trust anybody? That's what this feels like. And oh, by the way, I don't believe in the Lions because of what they did last year. The Green Bay Packers, well, you got to put them on there because they're the Green Bay Packers. And then the Rams, it just makes sense to put them on there if they're not going to win the division. All right, I don't necessarily agree with this. Let's throw ours up there and see what we get. Mine first. Here we go.
The Bears on top.
Boom! On, man. This is what we got. Yes, I do not have the Lions winning the division. Shocker. We'll get into that later. Rams, Cowboys, Packers, Falcons, 49ers, Lions, Seahawks. Didn't I swap the Seahawks out? I did swap the Seahawks out, but it is okay. I swapped the Seahawks out for the Philadelphia Eagles. I do not believe in them winning the division, but I do not think you can take them off, especially considering that offensive line is going to be back, revamped, and they are going to be ready, and the defense is just going to be as good. I like the Falcons as a surprise for me. This is where I'm at. We can just wait and see everybody's before we try to take shots to see how this is different. Anson, what does yours look like?
I've got some weird stuff going on. I do think that the Rams, on paper, are just.
I don't mind that, but I like that Vikings one.
I don't think the Vikings are bad.
I don't either.
They might really good quarterback play this year.
I didn't have the balls to put them on the list, but I also don't feel like I literally was back there talking to Riley for a minute. I was like, man, I'm telling you. I said, they went 9-8 last year.
I think that the Cowgirls will either win their division or won't make the playoffs. I think the Commies could be a team that sits there. I don't fully believe in the Giants, but the Eagles, they're not going anywhere. It's just so weird about that division. How long has it been since they had a repeat winner?
Last year was the first time.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
Okay,
Eagles
so they
won the
ended
last
that.
2 years.
All right.
But to your point, before last year, it had been 11 seasons. Justin, what does yours look like? Because I feel like we can get to the point where we can agree, B-Lad, my bad, we can get to the point where we can agree on 7. What's your list look like?
I'll show you. It's right there. I have Chicago winning the division.
Are you going right back?
Yep. And I also – so it was a toss-up between Seattle and Green Bay. Now, Seattle's schedule, if you've seen it, it's pretty they got some hard games in there. It's looking like one of the harder schedules in the NFL as of right now. So that's the only reason why I left them out, just due to the Super Bowl hangover, hard schedule. They don't have Charbonnet right away. A couple of the offensive pieces working around. So Green Bay is incredibly slept on, in my opinion. I think their defense will, once they get Micah Parsons back. Yeah. They'll be at full strength. They got a boatload of receivers that are looking to make a step ahead, like Matthew Golden and Christian Watson just got paid a bag. So that's why I threw them in my last wild card spot. But Chicago, whether you hate them or you don't, and I hate them, trust me, they're a good team. Like, I'm just sitting here in Realville over here. They are a good team with a great coaching staff. Ben Johnson, obviously, we all know how good he is. With a third-year Caleb Williams, who is riding on his high horse. It's going to be hard to count them out. The Lions' defense is too weak for them to win the division. I'm going to just leave it at that. Everything else, it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's fair. Go back to mine real quick. And as it relates to the Bears, I definitely think the Bears are a really good team. I think Ben Johnson is going to do his things. But for me, a lot of the people that they left, like, it's going to be interesting. You're talking about what did they thrive on last year? They led the league in turnovers. They led the league in takeovers. A lot of those guys are no longer with the team anymore. Javon Brisker is gone. Kevin Byard is gone. These are people that contributed to that, and you're asking them to step up. They're also going to lose Tremaine Edmonds. Oh, boy. They're also losing DJ Moore. Oh, boy. So that's when I look at Chicago. I saw a lot of notable individuals leaving the squad. That's why I was out on them. All right, Rams, let's do this. Let's see if we get on the same page to see what we get closest to.
Well, I haven't gone.
NFC. Well, I didn't know if you were going or not. Hey, you told me to go B-Lad. I didn't know you were going.
Yeah, because I had B-Lads up first, and
Justin, I just simply didn't know. Relax.
It's okay. I just feel left out, Bray.
I was listening to you. Go ahead.
I'm just joking.
Put yours up there.
All right, here's mine. I had the Rams number 1, pretty hard. I think everyone, like Braylon was just saying, that everyone's going to agree on that one. Yeah. I do have the Lions winning the division because I think that the schedule is weak enough where the defense is a non-factor, and I know that Braylon hates to hear that, but I personally just think that you're going to be able to boat race 75% of your schedule and still be able to beat them. I'm not saying that they're going to be a 1 seed, but before the Rams got Myles Garrett, I probably would have said the Lions were going to get the 1 seed. No, number 3 is the Eagles. I'm high on the Cowboys too. I really am. However, I think that the drama's out of the locker room. Their defense is even better with Reek Woolen now. I really like what the Eagles do.
Forgot about that.
And I got the Eagles as my number 3. Number 4, they didn't win the division last year because of their tough schedule. I got Tampa. I really like the addition of Reuben Bain. I like getting Mike Evans out of there and letting Mbuka step up and be their number 1 receiver. They obviously got a good backfield tandem in Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell. So I really like Tampa as my 4 seed. 5, I got Dallas. Nice. Dallas is nuts. I mean, they did a perfect job rebuilding post Micah Parsons. 6, I got the Bears. I just think that quarterback talent is just too much, especially when he finds ways to win games the way that he does. I think they're going to sneak their way into the playoffs, and they're just tough out. I could see them missing the playoffs, though. If you were to ask me what team misses the playoffs with this list, it'd be very difficult for me not to say the Bears.
All right, well, I should did my list like you guys. I thought we were going to do it at the end. Go back to my list then. I like everything you said. I don't really
got a
have
question on your
too
list.
much difference except Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go ahead. Go ahead. You have a question? Go ahead.
Okay. The Packers, you know what the record was without Micah Parsons last year? 0-5.
Yeah. Now, you're talking about at the end of the season,
What
too.
makes you have them on top of the division?
Yeah, because realistically, one of the reasons why their record was that is there also other interior defensive player got hurt. Their freaking offensive lineman got hurt, and don't mention Tucker Kraft, their best offensive weapon, was hurt at the same time. So
But
part
you
of
don't
that
like that.
0-5.
You don't like that excuse for Detroit.
I make it all the time. I legitimately make the excuse all the time.
You were mad at Dan for it, though.
You said no. I'm saying you can't consistently use that excuse because every time he goes to the podium after the season, it's a level of that. What went right based
Especially
off
the last 2 years.
Best off of injuries. Like, I'm tired of hearing it. That was a conversation I had about that. Everybody that we're talking about on this list is predicated on health.
Sure,
though.
of course.
We want to play those games. The Cowboys are only on here because
But we
I
know
believe.
the Packers' most impactful defensive player, and we have a very impactful
but see, I tore my ACL, and I tore my ACL December 4th of my rookie year, and I still came back and started September 11th that following season. And I was only a year 2 guy, so I was young, figuring it out. Micah Parsons got injured in October. He got injured at the end of October. Early November.
But that leverage when you're leaning with a torn ACL. I mean, you and I both.
Thank
know
you for
about
speaking
knees.
for experience.
I mean, we both have torn ACL, MCL, PCL.
Yeah, the only difference is like I continue to play after that. Like I figured it out.
Are you saying that I stopped playing after mine?
But this is an NFL conversation. Like I'm relating it to what I did in the NFL.
I get that, but what I'm
not
saying though is
negating,
what you guys are doing out there,
Yeah.
that cutting and stuff,
Right.
is very treacherous on a new knee. All right, but when you're cutting and you have the leverage on you, and I get you have the bump and run stuff,
Right.
but what he's doing constantly, he's not going to be there to start the season. I don't think.
All right, so realistically, Adrian Peterson did the same thing, and then coming off ACL, what did he do? He rushed
The
for
greatest example of a comeback from an ACL ever. I'll give you
But
that.
it's around the same. It's around the same age. It's around year 4, year 5.
I think they missed the playoffs.
And that's particularly fine for you. Tucker Kraft is back. Micah Parsons will be back. They added Zaire Franklin. I think Matthew Golden at the end of the season, you saw him develop as a wide receiver. Cowboys, for me, like I get what you're saying about the Eagles, and I forgot about Tariq Woolen, which is why I still have them in there at 7, where the Seahawks spot is.
You can take them out right now.
But nah, man, them Cowboys, bro, they're gonna be a problem. And then they also added, speaking of the Green Bay Packers, they also added Rashawn Gary to go with what they had in Quentin Williams, Caleb Downs. They drafted
They do have a D.
at 100%, and they added they're going to be elite. I think it'll be a problem. 49ers, Lions, and Seahawks. So Rams we agree on.
Yep.
Cowboys is.
I agree with that.
You're Cowboys. I know you're.
I'm Eagles.
All right, Eagles. I had Lions there. We see. Now I wonder why everybody's pissed off. I was
Is
reading
there
it wrong
another
way.
Braylon in there, Cam?
That's on me. I had the Lions winning the division, and that's why when you said what you said about the easy schedule, no, I believe you. I agree with it because I was trying to find reasons to negate the Lions, the number 1 spot, because I don't like their defense.
That would
Like,
literally
I
be
have
the
to
only
see
way.
their defense on the field before I give them any credence in terms of fully trusting them. But you
There
look at,
it is.
You look at there. Oh, see, yeah, here we go. This is perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my actual one. So I do have the Lions in there.
I like the Falcons this year.
I like
huh?
the Falcons, man. I'm telling you. I think it's going to Kevin Stefanski as well as Tua Tagovailoa.
No Tampa Bay anywhere.
Yeah, Tampa is better, but I've been saying that for the last 3 years, and I agree. But at the end of the day, I saw some quitting Baker Mayfield last year, and I'm not talking about his shoulder, and I'm not talking about because Mike Evans was hurt and Chris Godwin was hurt, blah, blah, blah. Like, I saw some quit in Baker Mayfield. And shorter quarterbacks, the older they get, the tougher it is. We've got example after example after example that proves that. So I just thought it'd be a step back.
Not Doug Flutie.
For Baker Mayfield.
We're gonna talk about Tua Tagovailoa in the same breath, though.
I just think it's a different situation.
Well, that's the thing, and Baker
I
Mayfield's
like what Kevin
defense.
Stefanski is going to do.
I don't mind Tua as long as he's healthy.
Yeah.
As long as he's healthy.
As long as he's healthy and not, he actually has an O-line to protect.
But it's not like Tua Tagovailoa went to a team that didn't have Bijan Robinson as the running back.
No, that's facts. There's toys over there.
Like which plays to what they do. Get rid of the ball fast, get them clicked out. Like that.
Like, don't definitely count out the Falcons at all. But
No,
in my defense, Tampa Bay, the receiver core led the league in receiver error.
Yeah.
And obviously that leads to interceptions, all that stuff. But you are right when, I'm one of my best friends back home. He's a big Bucs fan, and I was able to watch games with him. And I was even telling him, like, dude, Baker just threw your season away. Like, at the end of the year, like, it really did look like he shut down. And then receiver error is one thing, new OC is another. But at the end of the day, you're the quarterback. You got to put the team on your shoulders. You got weapons over there still, even with all the injuries.
I feel like I was going to ask a question. Look, let's take this to commercial break. When we get back,
They like Justin's list.
They like Justin's
They do like
list?
Justin's list because the Lions won the division.
Go back to Justin's list. They like Justin. They just
Will
like.
I Am says Washington is his sleeper team. He's picking them for the NFC East. We haven't talked about the Commies at all. Do you think they have a shot?
I have to throw my list up through here. Hold on.
Everybody has a shot, but
I mean, they have a shot, but their roster's
Here's
too
my
old.
list, right?
It's still on there.
There
It
we
is.
go.
Yep.
I mean, that's a nice list.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it is. Realistically,
No
it's giving,
Niners though.
It's giving love to the Bears. Only thing I did was replace the Bears.
I'm a
with the
Niners
Packers.
hater, bro. I am. Dude, I hate Brock
They're
Purdy.
so good.
I hate Shanahan.
Yeah.
I do not like the 49ers. It's not even like it's the salt in the wound from the NFC Championship game in 2023,
Yeah, it
but
is.
it's also them as like I just do not like their demeanor, the mentality. Like there are so many things I hate about the 49ers.
Is it 3 straight?
Don't tear your ACL at electric factories, dumbasses.
I mean, yeah, but dude, they're good. You can't. They're so good.
Mike Evans, the piece that unlocks it all.
I'm not saying he's a piece
You
that
know,
unlocks
you
it
know,
all. He's
you know
still
what I
a
love
beast,
about
though.
Detroit, man. I feel like every fan base does it, but I don't know if anybody does more in Detroit. Like, you guys make everything personal. Like, that conversation has nothing to do with. No, I'm talking about Justin. Like, that has nothing to do with the 49ers. That has everything to do with the 49ers beating the Lions when they were going to their very
admitted my
first Super
bias.
Bowl. But then you went on to say, but yeah, they
I was messed up for
what you
months,
did? They
bro.
ball.
I don't like their scheme. I don't like
Right, okay.
Shanahan. I don't like how like watching them play football. I don't like watching them play football.
Not liking Shanahan is actually admitting hate, and the reason why you don't like Shanahan, I'm not caping for Shanahan, but the reason why you don't like Shanahan because it doesn't matter what quarterback he does, he wins.
He's a dog. Yeah.
He's a great coach. I'll give him his flowers. I'll give him his scheme flowers. But I think that his scheme is bitch made, and that's my opinion.
That's fair.
I'm gonna run Debo like a fucking running back for fucking 5 years. Like,
J.O.B. Niners have been
Works
in
don't
our
fix
way forever.
did he win a Super Bowl?
He's been
No,
to 3.
he went to a couple.
You guys are trying to get to the
Have
NFC
we
Championship.
went to a
like,
Super
hold
Bowl?
on.
And I'll say Shanahan's
Hold
a better
on.
coach than Campbell, but for a guy who's been to 3 Super Bowls and never won shit, like he deserves to get the shit thrown his way for that.
I tell you-
you can't
that's
lose
fair.
3
Yeah,
Super
that's
Bowls
fair.
and not get any flack.
I feel that, but I feel like we like to pick and choose moments in those Super Bowls to negate people. Like, we'll say that, Kyle Shanahan, he didn't get it done. We won't point out the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo had a receiver wide the fuck open
Dre
with
Greenlaw snapped his
with 40
Achilles.
seconds left in the game. He's got a receiver wide open in the end zone, and the quarterback overthrows him. I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan can't get out there and play quarterback.
Dre Greenlaw
And I
snapped
dropped
his
the
Achilles
F-bomb. I
subbing out
apologize.
on the field too.
Yeah, so like I feel you. It is a boring style of football, but
But they still take away from Mahomes the fact that he lost without his offensive lineman. I mean, it's everything matters in the NFL. Everything counts. We don't play this shit for fun. It's for championships and money. Like, that's how it goes.
I understand that, but how is that the same as what I said? I simply said the quarterback overthrew a wide open wide receiver, which was right there. Kyle Shanahan called the play. Kyle Shanahan drew it up. The play was perfectly open. It was set up for the touchdown, and the quarterback chose to overthrow him.
So are we gonna? So make sure we keep that same energy then when we talk about the fake NFC Championship that Dan Campbell would have won if Josh Reynolds would have caught that pass on 3rd down.
Hey, I don't put any of that on Josh Reynolds at all.
But two things are. One thing is bona fide, almost acceptably 1,000% would have happened. Like, the quarterback overthrew a receiver that is in the end zone when nobody around him. Like, he overthrew the ball versus, he would have got the first down. How else would we have played that drive?
Gibbs fumbled.
That's all I'm saying. And I didn't even know it was like this. Like, whoa. Got a little hot up in there.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's
A lot of 49ers
it's
hate
passion,
in the
baby. It's
I'm
passion.
cool with the 49 hate.
Football is in
But
the
just
air.
no,
Hate 'em.
like I said,
Yeah.
it's not just for the NFC Championship game. That's the feather in the cap. I genuinely do not like the 49ers.
That's cool, too.
The feather, or the football's in the air.
I love
Let's
it.
just say
Because it
that.
wasn't
I love
live
it.
for Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
I
It's
love
live
it.
for Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
That's all good. Now, they don't like the 49ers because the 49ers don't make excuses like, oh, we were injured. They just go 12-5 and still make the playoffs. All right, let's get
Always
a
in that
message
way,
in
right?
from Mortgage
Somehow,
Pros, and
some
when we come
way.
back, we'll talk about the 5 players that I feel like if they get better, this can be a much better season. I'll give you reasons why I think they need to get better. Mortgage Pros, talk about it.
That's right, guys. I know that you have been thinking about it. It's time to make the call. You want to change your life. You want to change the trajectory for you and your family and your career. And Mortgage Pros wants to help take you there. You can reach them at mtgopros.com or 248-416-1361. A month ago, we were out at Michigan's #1 mortgage broker, their annual block party. Amazing employee culture. It's the type of place that you want to work, but it provides the future that we all want. So make the call today to Mortgage Pros.
Jameer Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone. Touchdown.
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
It's game on.
Jameer Gibbs, breakout season.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
Game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about the creators of the Detroit style deep dish. They've been here rocking pizzas out since 1946. I'm talking about Buddy's Pizza, and we want to save you 20% off your next order. Head on over to buddyspizza.com. You see that code word above my head, that Woodward 20. Plug that in, you're going to get that 20% off. Or head to their catering section. You want a pizza party this summer? We're going to save you up to $200 off of that pizza party with that very same code. So head on over to buddyspizza.com to learn more.
It's a pretty dope Buddy's shirt that they dropped off yesterday, man. I enjoyed that shirt. I got some compliments on it, so shout out to Buddies and appreciate that. Welcome back, almost at the second hour of the show. Talking about the Detroit Lions, talking about players that I believe need to get better this year. And if they are the better version themselves, the Lions will have a really good chance to do some really good things. As you say they will. I didn't know the 49ers chat was going to go like that. I love it, man. Somebody called me a Roger Craig fan.
They still
I love Roger Craig growing up. I mean, he had 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing.
He was kind of that first receiving back that I ever remember, right?
He was him. He was the first person to go over 1,000, like every mode after that, whether it's what Jameer Gibbs is now doing or we believe he's capable of, Marshall Faulk, it's David Johnson when he went over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Like, yeah, Roger Craig started. Think of these names. You know, what are some names that come to mind you think people need to get better? Let's see if you can guess the list. Let's see if you guys can guess the list. I know we have a graphic. You know the list. Everybody kind of knows it. Just let the chat start throwing some names up there.
Who do you think, Anson?
What's that?
Who do you think needs
I know two that are on there.
Who are two that are on there?
DJ Reed and Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams, which one do you want to start with? And you can put the list up there 1,000%. Let's start with Jamison Williams. When I say Jamison Williams, I know a lot of you guys are like, what? J-Mo? How J-Mo on this list? J-Mo had 7 touchdowns last year. J-Mo had 1,100 yards last year. In fact, J-Mo, when Amon-Ra St. Brown was out, J-Mo was J-Mo. This is where I need Waymo to be better this year. Last year, he did have 1,100 yards. Last year, he did have 7 touchdowns, and he did step up from time to time with no Sam Laporta and no Amon-Ra St. Brown. But he had too many moments last year. 12 drops last year, ladies and gentlemen. How about he led the league?
Yep.
How about he led the league? So for you talking about, man, he had 1,100 yards, how many yards would he have had if he would have caught some of those passes? Exactly. Some of those were brutal drops. I played wide receiver. I had my fair share of drops, so I'm not judging. Some of those drops were brutal drops. Just need him to be better catching the ball, seeing it all the way to the tuck. And then also, too, there are times when you can tell Amon-Ra St. Brown is getting him positioned or getting him lined up or him not necessarily being in the right spaces. I just need him to lock it all the way in. This is a player that we believe in. This is a player that we've paid. This is a player that I've been up here caping and defending since he got drafted. I tell you all the time, when I saw that national championship game before he tore his ACL and what he was doing to Georgia, Georgia has 8 guys on that team that were drafted in the first round, and he was better than all of them. So when I say I see what I see, I believe it. You can get him operating in the year 4 space this year, year 5 space, opposite of Amon-Ra St. Brown, it could be special. So I need him dialed in. I need the football not to be on the ground. I mean, when you look at the drop graphic from last year to him and everybody else, it's like him right here. It's kind of like the other one we saw the other day where the Lions were so far back you didn't see him. That's where he was percentage-wise in the drop rate category. Got to be better. He's 63% in the catching pass rate. To put that in perspective, St. Brown on average is 75. Just to put in perspective.
Got to be higher.
Got to be higher than that. So I need him to be better. If he's better, come on. You can't tell me if he's not better. He's not having a better year. Number 2, you brought up DJ Reed. Here we go. DJ Reed was absolutely getting cooked last year, and I understand the defensive line came into play, not being able to get pressure on the quarterback. Right, B-Lad? You get to the quarterback, defenders don't have to cover for as long. There were so many times where the defenders did get to the quarterback and guys were still open. I need him better at the line of scrimmage. I need him better putting hands on people, and he missed tackles last year. So him being out of play, him missing tackles last year, you paid this guy to come in and be your surefire, bona fide number 2. I need him to be that. This year, unfortunately, due to circumstances, he's got to be the number 1. So we need DJ Reed to be a better version of himself. I saw him when he was in New York. I saw him with the Jets. I know what he's capable of. He can be better. DJ Reed has got to be better for you.
Yeah, he was far better in Indy than he was in Detroit. I think that he can regain that. Problem is that at 5'10", when you're asking him to be your CB1, you are in trouble.
That's the decision they made. This is the decision that the front office made. I'm just picking up the scraps, if you will. All right. Give me another guess. Give me another name because you can see it.
Well, do you want to break that start down? Because I think that we got some opinions around the room here. Or do you want to give your full list?
Go ahead.
All right. I want to talk about that Jameson Williams take because I see exactly what you're seeing, Bray. Like, if you think about like the times in the back end of the year when the offense started to struggle to score and they were not playing to the caliber that we are used to seeing, Jameson Williams was struggling. He was not taking over games, and he did drop passes. So I would love to see J-Mo. And look, he's a guy, he makes fantastic, flashy plays. He makes those contested catches on a more routine basis than Amon-Ra St. Brown. But those sure-handed balls, like we talk about it, I believe it's 6 or 7 times that he touches the ball, he scores a touchdown. You said 14 drops. Like we're talking about, he cuts that in half. He's adding a touchdown, probably a couple hundred yards to the
3, at least.
Exactly. So like you see, and everyone's like, oh, the touches on the offense aren't always going to be there. Well, it's not about the touches for Jameson Williams. It's every time you get him the ball and you can manufacture a touch, he becomes a true weapon. He can break it on those deep and long runs. So that's where like it just has to be at a little bit higher efficiency clip. I love that you brought up the catching percentage, Bray. Like that is a good mark because it's not about the yards. It's about the efficiency that he is at bringing you touchdowns on the least amount of touches possible.
Also, too, man, I'm not disrespecting Jameson Williams, man. I'm telling you, like, just look at what he was last year. Just look at what he has the potential to be. Like, just if you add a couple more catches, you add a couple more yards, you add a couple more touchdowns. I mean, this helps you in situations. How many games were you right there? How many games were you just right there, but you couldn't find that play on offense? And that's all I'm saying. Also, too, it's a trust situation. When an offensive coordinator, you're trying to build trust with 2 new offensive coordinators, Mike Kefka being the one control the passing game, you show yourself to be trustworthy. You show yourself to be consistent. You show yourself to be lined up in the right spaces, knowing the offense can adjust from this receiver to this receiver to that receiver. And I know you will catch the ball in the pinch. You know what that means? That means any given moment in this game, we can call your number and we know you will come through. That means in any moment, they can be like, oh, cool, this is a good situation for us right here. It's 3rd and 10. This is the play that we were working on. We want to send J-Mo on one of these right here. You trust J-Mo in that play. You don't waste that. You throw it to him because you don't count it as a waste. How many of those moments showed up last year where they may want to use him in a pinch or they may want to use him in one of those big game moments? It's like, I don't know. Do the same shit to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know. Throw it to Jameer out of the backfield. I don't know. Here we go. Here's Sam. There is no Sam Laporta. So he is a damn good weapon. We're just saying he can be a little bit better.
And getting better, does that include
this year 5? Like
it is.
This year 5. It's not like he's year 2.
And what just him really just getting his route tree down, because obviously it's continued to expand over the course of his entire career. Like you brought up him at Alabama. His route tree was so limited because he was so dynamic and so good in college where he didn't necessarily need to run the full route tree. Now he's being asked to. Do you think that is something that is causing these drops to kind of uptick a little bit after a very good season that he had in 24?
That's a really good question. I think he's gotten better at route running, and realistically, the reason why his route running wasn't elite, if you will, Alabama, you don't need to be elite route runner, because you're going to have, at least in his era, you're going to have the best offensive line. You're going to have a quarterback that's going to be up for Heisman, whether he deserves it or not. You're going to have 2 running backs. One's going to be a first round or a second round type pick, and you're going to have 4 wide receivers on there that are just as good as you. So realistically, all you're running is go routes, slant routes, wide receiver screens, post routes. Yeah. So you're not dialing into, why do I need to be 18 yards on this comeback versus 16? Why do I need to run this roll out versus? So now he's dialing into that. In terms of him dropping the passes, I think it's because he's such a weapon at yards after the catch. He's so often he could take anything and get to the crib. Like he's always looking to the end zone. He's always looking for pay dirt. And sometimes when you have that talent, when you're looking for pay dirt, you tend to look for pay dirt before you finish catching the ball.
Well, to be realistic, if we're talking about Jamison Williams, we're talking about a guy whose hands have always been in question since he was a prospect coming out of Alabama.
Yeah.
All right. His first year didn't get a whole lot of action, but had some drops. His second year had 24 catches and 5 drops.
Yeah.
All right. If you extrapolate that to a full season of what we saw last year, where he was the worst in the league with drops, he would have been the worst in the league in drops in both his second and fourth year if he had that volume. His year 3, that was the anomaly. The guy was so good he didn't drop catches. I don't think it has anything to do with maybe just the fact that he's not great-handed. I think it's something he can improve. I think you work with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do think that distractions, more routes, more people coming from different angles that he wasn't used to for the majority of his career will add to that. But I think that the drops that you want to see go away are from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was very uncharacteristic of him last year. But what we saw from Jamo, we're going to continue to see. It's going to happen at times where he's going to drop what would be a touchdown. Nobody behind him, nobody ahead of him. But at the same time, he's going to catch those big ones that want you to get that ball to him more. He's not going to catch 1,300 yards worth of balls because of that.
See, I disagree. Like, at the end of the day, like, I don't give a damn what the report was when you got drafted. I don't care what we said about you coming out. You've had 5 years to improve, and after that 3rd year, we decided to extend you. We decided to put more money in your pocket, pay you upwards of $28 million a year. I don't care about what you did. I don't care about what's on that combine sheet. Well, you know, he has a tendency to drop the easy one. Well, your ass better be at Ford Field. You better be on that jug machine.
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just a situation.
It is, but I'm saying he can get better. And because he can get better, because he should get better, because he has to, he can be on this list.
I think he has been getting better, too. I mean, obviously,
fair.
His first year, obviously, we all know he was injured. His second year.
How did he get better when he was the worst drop receiver in the league last year?
Hold on. This is what we're not going to do in this segment, because I know how these things play out. This is not a segment we were up here dogging out Jamison Williams. This is not a segment where we're saying that Jamison Williams had a bad year. This is not a segment where we're coming up here and we say, hey, man, that Jamison Williams, if he doesn't do something, we're going to have to fix. No. This is a segment about what players can be better, and when you look at the catch rate that has been what it's been with the exception of 1 year, it needs to get better. If you look at the plays that were left on the field for Jamison Williams and the Detroit Lions last year, he has to get better at that, because you're talking about the difference in some of those plays and maybe not being 9-8 is all I'm more so saying.
Yeah, and what Jamison Williams does on the field is far away from our actual problems on the team. We're just specifically focusing on Jamison Williams himself as a player. Now, every single year in the league, his stat sheet across the board has grown exponentially. Every single number on that list. The thing is he's actually getting more. He's getting more targets. He's getting more snap. His snap percentage is going way up. They're trusting him a little bit more. Now, what Jamison Williams has to do better is obviously catch the ball. We just harped on that for the last 5 to 10 minutes. But the kid, or he's not a kid anymore, but he's improving. Like ever since he's gotten in the league, you've seen his maturity improve. He is doing stuff off the field and saying things in the press that people at first were like, "Oh, it could be an issue." No, he's learning, he's improving, and we paid him for a reason. This organization wouldn't have paid him if he wasn't a locker room fit or a culture guy, and that's something that we've seen in Jameson Williams' growth on and off the field.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll talk about the last 3 that are on this list. But finishing up on the Jameson Williams situation, the boy can play.
Facts,
the boy
he
can
can
play. We understand that. Just want him to be a better version of himself, and that is all. When we get back, we'll talk more. Let's get a message in right now from Icon Auto. You know what I'm going to come up here and tell you? We partner with the best, so trust us and work with the guys that we work with. Icon Auto Repair and Collision. If you've been in an accident or your vehicle needs repairs, make sure you trust the team, and that team is at Icon Auto Repair and Collision. 3 convenient metropolitan Detroit locations: Madison Heights, Shelby Township, and Pontiac. They've got you covered. They offer free car loaners. Free car loaners when you use their service, and they even offer to pay your deductible. Visit iconauto.com today, and remember, it's an Icon that you can rely on.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Join us for the biggest Detroit Tiger game this Wednesday, July 22nd at Art and Jake's in Shelby Township, as we get to see a young star, Kyder Montero, and a Detroit Tiger team continue to dominate the Chicago Cubs.
We're going to be going live at 8:05. Me, Nick, Rogelio Castillo of Tigers Minor League Report. Don't miss it.
Go Tigers! Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions. Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, I know you're thinking, a lot of you right now, about refinancing your house or maybe buying a new home. So you got to give Chad and Chris at Supreme Lending a call today. Call them early in the process. They're going to walk you through all of it, all the way up until closing. And that's going to get you in the best position possible for a better interest rate, a better program, including possibly that 0% down program that you see there on the screen. For sure, they'll make sure you mention that Woodward Sports sent you. That's going to save you up to $500 off of your home appraisal. It's home buying season, so make the call today to Supreme Lending.
Welcome in. Second hour of the show, the Braylon show on Woodward Sports Network. I appreciate you guys fighting for J-Mo in the chat. You know what, man? That respect.
We're Team J-Mo over here.
But I am too, which is why I absolutely love, because I was also arguing the chat on the other side years ago. Took you a while to get to J-Mo's side. I'm glad you're finally here. I'm also not speaking from a space of judgment. Like, I understand what it means to be in the league. I understand what it means to drop a pass that can win a game, drop a pass that can give you a first down, that can extend the drive, and now you can go at it again. So when I say these moments, he makes a couple more of those plays, we may be looking at a different record. I mean that from experience, and that's where we are. All right, 2 guys down, DJ Reed as well as Jameson Williams. Number 3 on the list. I'll just give it to you because you already know. It's got to be Christian Mahogany. I think the Detroit Lions, even though I think it should potentially be somebody else at that position, I think this is the guy. I think they like him. Dan has put him in the position again. They're going to triple down on him. And they believe because of his playoff experience a couple years ago, as well as when teams left, he's the guy. If he's going to be the guy, you got to be better, Christian Mahogany. Because some offensive linemen, Riley, they give you one. They give you, pass pro held up. But the run, the running wasn't where it was. Or, hey, man, him as a run blocker did his thing. Him as a pass blocker, he struggled at both last year. 67% was his run block grade. 40% was his pass block grade. Yeah. He struggled. And when you're talking about having a left guard, look, I don't want Panay Sewell to have to worry about the inside all freaking year. I don't want him looking to the right. I don't want him trying to help you step down because you got out of position. Now he's trying to save your ass, and now indirectly his guy is getting off the edge, and now he's having to deal with more. I need you to be better. They trust in you, so we have to too. Christian Mahogany, if he can be a better version of himself and you can get that left side protected. There were a lot of times last year looking at that left side where you start to see Taylor Decker being older. You saw the bad play of Christian Mahogany. And you know who felt that? It was number 16, Jared Goff. Now you got the big fella over there. You got the best offensive lineman in the league, arguably. You got to give me something this year because your right side with K. Mays should be a lot better this year. So Christian Mahogany has to be on this list.
It's got to look like he did in his rookie year when he had a better line around him.
Yeah.
This is the weakest link of the line, we believe. We still have to see Blake Miller suit up, but if indeed he is that weakest link, he has to be very, very good. I suspect that he's not going to be starting all season.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but right now he's a starter, and we got to rock and roll. You talked about the schedule. Got to get off to a good start. Got to get out the gate. You got to win. You got to win the games you're supposed to win. You got to put people behind the 8-ball early, and that's what I think they can do. But 27 total pressures, gave up 5 sacks, and over 11 starts. That we can't have that. No, we can't have that from the inside position. So, Christian Mahogany, I say to you, believe in you, but you got to be better. Number 4 on this list. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go with? All right, here we go. Defensive line. Let's stick with the conversation that I've been having all day. Defensive line has to be better, and that defensive line is led by none other than Aleem McNeil. I put Aleem McNeil on this list. People could talk about him coming back from injury last year where he was hurt. He came back, he had to ease into the groove. His first game was his best game. Yep. His first game back was his best game back.
Yep.
His best game back last year. You want some stats on him? 52.2 Pro Football Focus. Love him, hate him to a certain degree. Grade on that, and then 47.2 on the run. Aleem McNeil has to be better. Like, he's a stout player. And some of the things that he did 2 years ago, you saw him be able to get to the quarterback, one-on-ones. You saw him make it muddy in there, muddy up the run game. Like, Talik Williams needs to be able to look to somebody, and that person is Aleem McNeil. As good as Aleem McNeil can be, will be as good as second-year player Talik Williams can be. So a lot on him, but that's where I'm at, B-Lad. Aleem McNeil has to be better because them putting him outside at edge because we don't have an edge rusher was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no, that's never happening again. Should never happen again. He's your traditional interior defensive lineman, but the one thing about him that made him special was that he could actually get to the quarterback at a very fast speed. We saw it all throughout 2024 before he got injured. He is a huge impact on this defense, and not only do we need him to get better because of that, but he also needs to get better because we paid him. He got his bag, and he can be a mentor for another player that has a very similar build, very similar play style in Tyleik Williams. We actually got to see Tyleik Williams play towards the end of the year. Say what you want, he did decent towards the end of the year there last year. But as far as Aleem McNeil, we need him back at full strength to generate that pass rush again and to disrupt offenses, and that also. That makes way for your edges. That makes way for your other defensive linemen. If you want to run a stunt, if you want to run a blitz up the middle, it's all keen on what McNeil does. And he, like I said, he was able to get to the quarterback and be a really good traditional run stuffer up the middle. Teams couldn't run the ball up the middle against us at one point in 2024. We need that Aleem McNeil back.
Yeah, definitely.
Simple as that.
Definitely need that Aleem McNeil back. I was just looking. People always say, "Oh man, you should have saw him." Talik Williams was better at the end of the season last year. Who did they play last year? Let me check this out.
It was really just the Chicago game.
Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely thank you. Because I was about to say, no, he did not.
It was really just the Chicago game. He had a couple bright moments in there. I think he had like a pass deflection, TFL or two.
Dallas, he did decent Dallas. He got obliterated.
Everybody did.
He got obliterated during Pitt. He got obliterated during the Rams. He did decent during Minnesota at Brosmer as the quarterback, and he did decent with Chicago in the season last year on their like fourth guard.
I mean, Jalen Warren was looking like prime Emmitt Smith against us when we played against
Yeah.
the Steelers, when obviously our entire D-line and defense was, quite frankly, depleted at that point. I just don't want to see that again. I don't want to see that same defense out there again. I know injuries are tough, and that's why I gave Aiden Hutchinson some slack, because that injury was gruesome. And
We stay giving slack here in Detroit, man. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I mean, at the same time, like you snap your leg, you're not going to be the same player coming back.
I was messing with
No,
Justin.
but you're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
All right, here we go. You got something? Oh, yeah, let's wrap this up with this one, and then you guys can take it from here. This one will be an interesting one. This one will stoke a little bit, and I know you got something on this. Well, I'm put Brian Branch on this list. No Talik Williams. No, I'm not putting Ennis Rakestraw, somebody that I don't know what he looks like. No, I'm not putting him on here. And no, I'm not trying to put K. Mays on here because of what he did last year, wanting him to be better. For me, it's got to be Brian Branch. You look at last year, even before he got hurt, before he messed up his Achilles, and before he was out for the season, there were a lot of moments where he's taking the first thing the quarterback gives him. He's taking the first thing the slot receiver gives him. He's taking the first move and putting himself so far out of position. He was allowing the floodgates to open up in that same spot, which is a very important part of that defense. So he's got to be better at that, even before the energy. And then also, too, for me, B-Lad, this isn't something that is athletic. This is mental. Got to stop with the personal fouls. Got to stop with the gestures and things of that nature. Like, I don't mind. I'm not stripping him of his physicality. I'm not stripping him of his nature. I want him to be cooler in those moments.
Yeah, you need a safety like him, especially in the role that
Hell
he plays.
yeah.
He plays that Joker role. You know.
But
that
what good
star.
is he if he flips off somebody and only have him in the playoffs?
Exactly right. Like, you just destroyed Bo Melton on the sideline. Like, absolutely lit him up. And I know the refs called helmet to helmet on that, even though it wasn't. I understand he was frustrated about that. Yeah. But you want to have a player like that with that sort of mentality, especially at his position. But yeah, nah, you gotta like. There are times where it's like, all right, you got to look back, be like, all right, I'm not getting mad, cool it down, whatever, next play mentality. But you're right. There were so many times where he was out of position. He didn't stay home. He was taking the first read every time. Same action play that I saw a million times. And I even saw Anzalone get cooked on it a bunch of times last year as well. But Branch, it could have been because of the defensive scheme. You know, you never know. But at the same time, there were moments where I was like, Branch, stay home, stay home, stay home. You are in position to make a play so the play doesn't obviously spill over 10 yards, gets a first down. There was multiple times where he either bites on the QB or bites on the receiver, able to get yards every single time on those specific play action read type of plays. That's the one thing he got exploited.
Did I leave anybody off this list? Is there other people that should be on this list, or did I put somebody else?
I think that I want to tap into the Branch conversation quick, because I do think it's fair to put Brian Branch on here, especially because coming off of an Achilles injury right off the rip is a very difficult thing to do, especially when he was having some bad spots in last year's, before he got hurt. So now we're looking at him coming into in the middle of the season on an Achilles to a defense that's probably deflated at that moment, who's probably not looking like they are even a top 20 unit in the league until he comes back, because of the fact he will probably be back before Kirby Joseph is what most people feel like about the situation. However, he's going to have a lot of pressure put on him from the minute he comes back. He's going to be looked at essentially as a savior to this defense, and that's why I think that it's very valid for you, Bray, that you want to see him bounce back. You need him to bounce back, because without Brian Branch, this defense is nowhere near Super Bowl caliber. You need him being a playmaker like he was as a rookie, and as in 2024. That is where the epitome of Brian Branch. He's free flowing. He's making plays. He's forcing people to have drops in the box. He's making quarterbacks test Kirby Joseph because he's such a masterful player in the middle of the field. You need all of that and more from him this year. He is going to have to take a step forward because of the role that he's going to be asked to play in this defense this year.
Crushed it. I mean, I agree with everything, man, and that's a really big deal. A couple people in the chat are talking about, the fact that the refs are going to be looking for him, and you worry that he's coming back trying to overcompensate from not only the actual injury physically, but the mental limitations that you have coming back, and that could make him handsy and get some of those penalties. But everything that you mentioned, Justin, it's the 1-2 punch of the opportunities that Brian Branch creates for Kirby Joseph, a guy that flips the field.
Said.
It really was. I like you looked at me. You're like, "Do you want to say anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm letting him cook, man." You crushed it, Justin.
Yeah, no, it was a fun conversation. But I mean, it's one of those ones where when you look at it, a team is 9-8. When a team is 9-8, a lot goes into a team not being in those 11 wins. A lot goes to a team not having those 10 wins. I feel like sometimes we focus so much on the bigger picture, we miss some of the smaller details. Brian Branch being a better version of himself for that Lions secondary as well as that Lions defense as a whole, it's going to be a really important thing. When you look at Jamison Williams, man, like just some of the plays, I mean, look at it's some of the small things. I don't know. And I had a conversation with the guy that used to sit right there. He came on here after they played the Eagles and Jamison Williams. Shout out to Matt Shepard. And then Jamison Williams does the touchdown celebration. He grabs and he slides down. I argue with Shep. I argued with Shep. Shep
do that.
And he was like, you have to be better than that. You can't do those. And you get the field goal. And I was like, man, shut up. He scored a touchdown, is what it is. But he's right. You can't have those moments in year 5. You can't have field position being messed up. It's just little things like that. And you look at Christian Mahogany, nothing needs to say. DJ Reed, he's got to be better. Because regardless of how we view him, regardless of what he was paid to do, he's your number 1 DB. Regardless of why he's your number 1 DB, he's your number 1 DB, which means he has to be better.
No doubt. No doubt. And
Lights
the way that they're bringing him back, the way that he's paid, the way that he's looked at on this team, he has to be all of that.
You know what's interesting realistically? With the exception of maybe Chicago, and that's only because Caleb Williams, what they did last year, the noise of Chicago, and then maybe them moving to Indiana for the stadium. Outside of the craziness, not a lot of conversation about the NFC North. You haven't heard a lot of murmuring out of NFC North this offseason. Green Bay's been quiet.
I mean, they just signed Wyatt. I forgot his first name yesterday. That's a good signing, though.
It's a great sign, but you wouldn't even know. But I'm saying, in a sense, you haven't heard anything coming out of Jordan Love. Hasn't been on the microphone.
I don't even think the Vikings have a GM yet.
I don't even think the Vikings have been allowed to talk.
Yeah, it's like who's going to win that QB?
Waiting to see Kyler Murray at the podium. But all right, here we go. We'll take a quick commercial break. Get the show back on the rails. Get the show back on track. Hearing from Mad Packs. But before we do that, where you want to go with this combo? Jay, you want to come back and talk a little bit on this? You want to talk about your Tigers? How they? I
say we leave it up to chat. We'll throw because I think there is one name that you left off, and we have 3 segments left. So Lions, college football, and Tigers, and have the chat decide.
Oh my, sounds good. Mad Packs, tell about it.
Yes, sir.
Before I get that poll up, let me tell you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs has a great lineup of pre-rolls, hard hitting, just like hopefully the Detroit Tigers do tonight, as they have the high-low pre-roll and the Boom Shakalaka, 1.5 grams and 1.3 grams respectively. They also have great wax as well. Make sure you tap in Keef-coated, live resin infused, and look, they don't canoe. They smoke nice and clean, so make sure you feel better with Mad Packs.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Join us for the biggest Detroit Tiger game this Wednesday, July 22nd at Art and Jake's in Shelby Township, as we get to see a young star, Kyder Montero, and a Detroit Tiger team continue to dominate the Chicago Cubs.
We're going to be going live at 8:05. Me, Nick, Rogelio Castillo of Tigers Minor League Report. Don't miss it.
Go Tigers!
Justin Satawa here. Let me tell you about Gold Crown Royal Jesters. 1.5 grams, coated in keef and live resin infused. They are the OG in the cannabis game. 1.5 grams. They also have the Royal Junior Jesters, which are 0.7 grams, and they come in a five-pack cylinder, and they are very nice. They smoke very clean. They're very good. So make sure you tap in with them. They also have great wax and carts, so make sure Gold Crown's an OG in the game. Tap in with them at goldcrownextracts.com.
Hey guys, welcome back.
What's up, Anson?
Just taking a look at the poll here. We had 3 topics up. You guys get to choose. Tigers.
Damn, I'm surprised that they're done
college
with the Lions.
football.
Damn.
And the Lions. I am not surprised by this, guys, because, well, the Tigers, we've been all over. They looked real bad last night, but the Athletic, one Ken Rosenthal with a very big article today to fuel the flames of one topic that has been the main topic in Tiger Town for a year now, Brett.
And the main topic is, are you getting rid of Skubal or are you going to keep him? Do we have the article? How are we going to play this article? Because
you do.
They have it on the back wall.
Yep.
We got the article on the back wall.
It's one quote specifically here. You want to read it?
Sure. This is via Ken Rosenthal. The way they would do it, according to 2 rival executives briefed on the Tigers' thinking, is by trading Skubal for a controllable starting pitcher plus quality prospects. The starter would replace Skubal in the rotation, backfilling his innings, but most certainly providing lesser performance.
So, excuse me, to elaborate on this, these 2 rival executives apparently have been on the phone with Scott Harris.
Yeah.
And they have an understanding of what they are asking. Now, we do have another graphic.
Did Scott Harris actually speak back?
Well, I mean, apparently this is what he's telling them. And maybe this is why yesterday's report came out that there's a 60% chance of both trading him and Mize. But sticking to Skubal here, we've got 6 guys that we got a graphic for that would maybe fit this kind of a profile.
Are we cool with this? Let's start there. Let's say this is what the deal. This is the deal that's done. We're gonna move Skubal at the trade deadline, and it will be for a starting controllable pitcher and prospects. Like, how are we with that?
There's one I'm okay with.
I mean, you gotta.
Is it the names first? We see what the names are first, or
yeah, sure. You wanna?
It's a little bit of both, I think.
Just listening to it, I'm like, are we just trying to get something to say we got something?
So if you make it to the ALCS or you lose in the second round based on having Skubal or trading him, I want the pieces.
Okay.
Let's assume that my theory about the CBA is bunk. We have opening day, same scheduled, March 31st, baseball playing next year. Now at that point, you've got a compensatory pick for Skubal. That's it. He's gone. I don't think that you can match what other clubs are willing to play for him. The Dodgers. Now, there's a guy on this list, on this back wall here. He's a Brewer. He's hurt right now. He's got a strained back. I love this kid. Was a prospect on my dynasty team that I traded, and he has been very, very good as a pro pitcher, and that is one Logan Henderson. But you can't stop there because it's a guy that steps into your rotation, and I believe that Logan Henderson could step into the Tigers' rotation. They're not going to skip a lot. It's certainly not Skubal, but this is a guy that can come in there, maybe be your ace as soon as next year. He's that good. However, the Brewers, we used to love on our prospect farm system in Detroit here. Well, the Brewers are the best in the business right now. Their first 8 guys, they're all in the top 100. There's a guy, Luis Lara, that just got called up. There's a few others that are right on the precipice. There's a guy, Luis Pena, who's at high A right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is a middle infielder guy. They've got, Jesus Made, who's the big one sitting top of their list. That's not going to be moved. I prefer Pena.
Oh, 100%.
I prefer Pena's profile. That's a guy that you get in here next year alongside Max Clark that maybe you see at this time next year, but full-time next year. But you get Logan Henderson, and I'm telling you, the other names on this list, as you look around here, you got Emmett Shaheen, who's having a disaster year after a sub-3 ERA season last year and a sub-1 whip last year. He's got it in him, but maybe that flaherty up and downness. Ian Seymour, I'm out. J.R. Ritchie, A.J. Smith-Sharver, I'm out. Will Warren I don't hate. Ryan Weathers, I'm out. Andrew Painter from the Phillies is one guy that is intriguing to me. I still think that I think that the thoughts on him were higher than what he will actually be. The Logan Henderson deal I'd do today.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I know the Milwaukee Brewers won't do it. I hear this list.
I think the Brewers would do it.
I hear this list, and I'm like, man, no. I'm turning the list down.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Moving right along.
I don't like any of those.
Why?
Henderson's the only one that I
Why?
like.
Because realistically, if you're not gonna pay Skubal, then I know it's gonna sound crazy. If you believe in this team like they do, you have money to spend next year. You're not gonna play Skubal. Just don't pay Skubal. See how far you go this year, and just let him do this thing.
Pay Mize and get that kid.
I'd say trade Mize too. Honestly, at this point, you can if you have a chance to revamp your farm system that's actually declining.
Oh, great!
In the rankings.
Another player where I can be like, oh, he's gonna be great in 6 years.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say
Logan
6 years.
Henderson has a 2.45 ERA with a .95 WHIP.
Henderson's the only one I would take off of this list.
Okay, so what comes behind that is also what I'm saying. Like, you talking about Pena, you talking about the other guys, talking about Mondry. I'm saying, like, what comes with?
Oh, it's got to be either one of the higher ones or a couple of the lower ones. But again, if you're talking about their 6, 7, 8 guys, they're in the top 100 right now. So it's really just building this whole thing for the Tigers, which I know you guys hate when I say it about the Lions. You hate when I say it about – listen, all the teams in the town are doing it. They're building for the future. They're not selling off their assets. But this is an asset that I think we all agree needs to be traded.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. He should have been traded, but they.
Well, in a perfect world, they're not winning with this team. In a perfect world, in my eyes, they trade, and obviously,
Both
perfect
of them,
world.
Scope,
perfect
both.
world. This is a fantasy world. You trade Framber, Mize, and
Framber,
Skubal. And you trade Gleyber Torres, and then you can work out something with Torque.
I'd love to trade Framber.
But if you can, that's the thing, you're not winning with this team. Simple as that. This team is not good enough. The bats aren't good enough. And we actually have pitcher. We can still have a solid rotation that's young going forward. You still have Jackson Jobe. You still have Reese Olson. You still have Troy Melton. You still have Ty Madden, Keider Montero, Drew Anderson. You still have guys that can actually get it done. Well, okay, it's just a name, all right? We've been running 6-man rotations. I just needed to throw a 6-man out there. You just, okay, all right, just chill on me, all right? Your mic's off, all right? I don't need you to chime in on any of this. But that's what I'm saying is, we can, beef up for 2028. I would shoot for guys that want to be up in 2027, 2028, and you can beef up and get young again and try this thing all over again. At least try. And that's the thing is, what if we pulled the Flaherty move with Skubal? I know that's a big fantasy, and these GMs where we
let him go,
where we trade him. The team who uses him as a rental doesn't extend him, and we get him back. Anything is possible. I mean, we probably won't even have baseball next year. That's probably not going to happen.
Did you guys see the report that Skubal apparently felt a twinge in his elbow back in?
I was listening to that on the way in.
So apparently Terry Skubal, because it's important just to see where you feel about Skubal afterwards, or this is a nothing burger. Apparently Terry Skubal felt a twinge in his elbow last January, never did anything about it, and then came out to further say because of arbitration situation with the Tigers, he didn't mention it. And then he goes on to not mention it. Then he goes on to play in the WBA, and then he goes on to play in the Tigers opener, and then he gets injured. What are your thoughts on Terry Skubal making this public and making this known that I felt this, and then later on he gets injured during the season? Is this a nothing situation, him just being super nice, super honest, or are you like, wait, did we get fleeced?
It doesn't bother me. I think he's dumb for bringing it out at all. Your strategy
his
back
agent
then was
pissed.
to cover yourself for the arbitration. That arbitration's coming at the end of this season again, my friend.
Yep.
It's just in a different format. So, no, you keep that under wraps. I've been saying since last year he will have a second Tommy John. The way that he throws the ball, he will have a second Tommy John. And, again, I'd love to have him here, but I really see whoever signs Skubal, it not working out to what they thought it would be. So I will always be in the camp of trading him. I'm not pissed off by the fact that I don't think that they're selling him. I think that if anything, they will be buying somebody like Spencer Steele or Lane Thomas, like we talked about yesterday. But ultimately, there's so much worry around this. Back-to-back Cy Youngs, how many more Cy Youngs can you get? You know,
I mean, he's already done.
So but I'm just saying, like, is this a chance for the a chance for the Detroit Tigers to file grievance, have a conversation about what you did not know? Is this a bigger matter?
He didn't cover up a medical report. A twinge could be anything.
Well, he said,
should I felt some elbow discomfort in January?
Said, I wish I would have gotten an MRI in January.
Yeah.
But because of
I don't think
situation.
there's legal recourse.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I feel where you're at. I know Tiger diehards are pissed right now, probably.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he did say subconsciously the only reason why I didn't go do it is because of the arbitration case. He openly went out and said that. And how fast do you think Scott Boras called him after he came out to media and said that?
Shut up.
Yeah, literally, like, dude, you got to stop talking because it's one day I expect Harris and the crew to buy. I want to stay on this team forever. I want to be a Tiger forever. And then you come out and say, oh, well, like, logically speaking, let's think here for a second. What makes you the money? Your throwing arm. You feel discomfort in your throwing arm before spring training starts. And you don't do anything about it because you're worried about your arbitration case.
Because if I'm hurt, I'm not getting $32 million.
Correct.
Like, if I come out and say, look, I got little twins, we need an MRI. Oh, wait a minute. May rule in a different favor.
Right.
Maybe it looks like $19 million now because you have an injury. Like, hey, look, if you walk like a duck,
Matt Broder,
like a duck.
Facts.
Matt Broder in the chat here.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, one of our baseball elite. He says you can't correlate it. 100% of pitchers have a twinge in their arm, and he is a former pitcher alumni at Michigan.
Yeah, shout out to you know that.
He does actually address a comment made by Mitten Maid. He says, I would deal Riley for the right package. As cheap as Illich is, he will be in the Skubal situation with Riley in 2 years. And then Matt Broder responding, Mitten Maid, you're the first person who I've seen say that, and I couldn't agree more.
Shout out.
Dang.
Shout out. I absolutely agree with the first part as well. I agree with my brother Matt Broder always. I think it's a situation. Once he pitches and goes about the season, all this is a moot point. Like, I'm also just brought it up to see how you felt with Cy, where it would piss you off. If you wanted to keep him, do you not want to get rid of him? Once he goes out and plays a couple games, this is a moot point. That twins didn't mean anything. But Matt Broder likes something as it relates to Mitten Maid. That's a conversation.
Yeah, he wants to move Riley. I mean, you guys know how I feel about him. I'm not a fan. I think that the league probably values him better than what his WRC and WAR actually are. So to me, I mean, if somebody's got a taker, they want that power lefty bat, go get him. Come get him.
All right, bet. Let's take a quick commercial break. Take a quick commercial break.
Pay some bills.
Pay some bills, get back on track, and when we do, we'll flip the conversation a little bit. I think Justin has some stuff in college football, or maybe we'll talk about an individual that might be taking his talents back to Miami. When we come back, we'll talk about that. But let me get a message in from Thrive.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Thrive real quick. You got to put down that mid-afternoon energy drink and coffee, and it's time to upgrade your game with Thrive energy pouches. This isn't your daddy's dip, Cam. It's tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse packing 300 milligrams of clean, smart caffeine. No jitters, no sugar crash, and zero bloating. Thrive can be found at dipstop.com. Remember to use promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order, and exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive, clean energy, zero distractions, and they just flip and work, y'all.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at DebtCityFC.com.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. One's great. Two, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
TV's wall to wall, 22 beers on tap, and the vibes are always there. Art and Jake's is the sports bar for you. And today, we will be at the one in Shelby Township. The game starts at 8 o'clock. Your Detroit Tigers. Pull up, man. Watch party. You get a chance to see some of the fellas, some of the crew, some of the ladies doing what Woodward Sports likes to do. The menu's on fire. And also, check out those beers on tap. Once again, doesn't matter the location, though. A&J, they're the place to be. Pull up on us tonight. Okay, apparently Detroit Lions conversation still going on in the chat. What are some other players that I may not have brought up? Because I feel like I brought up the ones that I think need to be better. B-Lad, Justin, you guys got some other names for me and maybe why I didn't bring up a certain individual?
Yeah, the one name that I threw out there earlier was Derek Barnes. We saw he had
Here's why I didn't bring him up.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is why. I don't think he's that good.
Fair.
Like, I don't think Derek Barnes is good.
You don't think he's a starter?
No, I don't think he's.
Hell no.
What about the Legion of Whom?
He starts. So yes, he's a starter. Do I believe that he's a starter? That he's temporary.
He's
100%.
not a starter on 70% of the teams in the league.
Yeah, exactly. 75% of the teams. I actually agree with that number. I watched him year one. I watched him and what he was doing. I watched the ascent and people believing, hey, this guy at Purdue, man, you got to watch out for him. Okay, been watching, still waiting. So no disrespect to him. I don't think he's that good. So that's why I didn't bring his name up. Is there another one? I know there's a bigger one.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a major name.
I'm going to bring it up here.
Okay.
I'm not afraid.
I stay away.
The
Every time I
chat.
bring him up, I get called a non-Michigan lover. I get called a hater. I get called a guy that doesn't know ball when I bring this guy up.
Buckeye Braylon. I'm kidding.
Hey, for real. Facts.
No, I've seen that one for sure. But
meanwhile, he didn't want to tell me who was going to win versus Michigan Ohio State 3 years ago, but I digress.
Anyway.
I just want him to have a good game. All right. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're all good.
That one hit me hard. Like, I was like, huh? Like, that's what? Like, I remember when I first got in the league, Michigan was playing Michigan State, and we were playing the Giants. And they asked Plexico Burrs. It was like my third year because he was with the Giants. They asked him about the Michigan State game. Man, I effing hate them. He said, man, F Michigan. This is on live on camera. I was like, that's how the rivalry is supposed to be. I'm not ever supposed to ask Plexico Burrs, hey, man, what you think about the rivalry? He was like, man, I want both guys to go out there and just have a good game, and whoever wins, shut the. Anyway, I digress.
My guy, Plax.
The name is no other than Aiden Hutchinson, and I'm not saying that he didn't have a good year last year. I'm not saying that. I'm not diminishing what he's done. But if you remember what he was ascending to before he got hurt, that is what I'm talking about. The level of, like, he was in the depoy, he was leading the depoy conversation. He was on pace for 17.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken, and he was so good in the run game. Last year, he just looked like a pure pass rusher. He looked like he was a James Houston specialist out there. Hey. Like he was only sack farming, and that's not good enough for a player of his caliber. He is so gifted. He's so talented. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to play to this level this year, but we need him to, especially with how diminished the defense is as of right now. You are going to need a guy like Aiden Hutchinson to step up and produce more in the run game to help his less experienced interior defensive lineman, and on the other edge, everything is going to have to revolve around Aiden Hutchinson on this D-line. He's going to have to get that attention that the Myles Garretts, the Max Crosbys get of the world, and be able to overcome that and still make play after play in the run game and the pass game. We need him to be a full, and not in the way that he did last year. I don't want 98% of the snap share or whatever it was, 95 plus. We don't need that. That is the last thing we need. But when he is in the game, he needs to be all in on defending both the run and being a pass rusher.
I'm so glad you said the point about him being better in the run game. When we first drafted Aiden Hutchinson, and somebody asked me what I think a comp was, I said Kyle Vanden Bosch. Kyle Vanden Bosch.
Dang.
Well,
good pull.
This is when they first drafted me. I said Kyle Vanden Bosch can go out there and get you 13, 14 sacks a year. He ain't doing nothing in the run game. You can bulldoze him in the run game, and or he's out of position in the run game, and that's what I thought about Aiden Hutchinson. I'm now thinking Aiden Hutchinson is a better player. But when you don't play both, when you're not a strength in both, when you play 90% of the pass plays, 95% of the snaps, and they don't show up in the run game, when you don't show up consistently, that's cause for concern. So he definitely needs to be better in that run game. We know what he is on the outside. We know what he is as an edge rusher. We understand that Aleem McNeil was hurt. Talik Williams was young. Your secondary wasn't that good. Then the secondary got injured. At some point in time, I need an individual to step up, and this could be the year for Aiden Hutchinson. I don't want to hear about who didn't play. I don't want to hear about who's hurt, who's coming off injury. I don't want to hear about we don't have a number one defense. We don't have a number one DB. We don't have – at some point, you telling me this guy's is good. You got to show me.
I'm glad we revisited this because Hutch was on my list, not because he had a bad season.
Because he went to Michigan, damn it.
Well, no, he's got to dominate the commentators' booth. Like, we looked at him getting 2 sacks at the end of garbage time in a lot of games that buoyed that 14.5 sacks.
Yeah.
2 years ago, before he broke his leg into 17, the guy was snatching interceptions. He was all over the place. You just talked about him all the time. It's what you heard during the broadcast. I want that. I don't need 23 sacks. I'd like 15 or more, but what I want is I want him terrorizing. I want him everywhere. I want him so impactful that there's no question that he's one of the 3 finalists for the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, 1,000%.
2 more names.
To his point, this is why this is going to be the most judgmental year. This will be the most judgmental year that I will have of Aiden Hutchinson.
It has to be.
This is why, because when we mentioned
a year fully returned too.
One, he's fully returned, but 2, when we mentioned all those names, when we mentioned the elitists of sacking the quarterback, when you mentioned the T.J. Watts, when you mentioned the J.J. Watts, when you mentioned the Von Millers, when you mentioned the Myles Garrett's, also mention their defensive line, the defensive tackles that they play with, the other side. Like, those guys have had players, so I get that part. That's why I feel like this is a year in which you got it all. Let's have this conversation at the end of the year. What does it look like for Aiden?
Yeah, and I know we touched on this in the past as well. A lot of his success last year too came from backup tackles and tight ends, and that's we saw it get exploited against the LA Rams too when he went up against the tight end and sniffed out that screen pass that he ended up taking all the way down to like the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Against Kansas City, the one impactful play in that game that he had was against Noah Gray. Against Dallas, they had 2 backup tackles playing the entire game. Of course, Al-Qadim Muhammad and Aiden Hutchinson are going to look like King Kong against them. You're exactly right. They're in the same tax bracket, or he's in the same exact tax bracket as all the elite generational edge rushers in the NFL today. He needs to be a part of that list. But you guys hit it right on the nose.
Yeah, fun conversation, though. I mean, but the good thing is we believe, or do we? Do you believe it's a better team this year?
I do.
No.
You don't.
I don't. That's the whole reason why I've been down on them. I mean, I know last year they were bad, and I know there's a lot of question marks this year surrounding the coordinators, surrounding the defense, but I see them plateau. I don't see them go up. I see them plateau. We still the safety position, 2 question marks. DB, perimeter DBs, question marks. Edge rushers, besides Hutchinson, question marks. Like, everything is just a big old question mark. And as of right now, to this very day, whatever day it is today, what's today?
22nd.
July 22nd. I believe this Detroit Lions team has flatlined. It's been a plateau this offseason.
The Lions have flat. Like, we should have started the show.
Well, that's why I said the ceiling or the floor for them this year was only 8 wins.
8 is your floor. What's your ceiling? 11.
11. My ceiling is 11. I think they're gonna win. They're gonna win 10 games. That's my final prediction. So I would not be surprised if they go 9-8 for another year.
So you got them struggling in the second half of the season, then.
Well, I mean, I know that stretch where they play 3 games in 12 days, that's not hard. That's not easy. And one of them is Thanksgiving. We all know how Thanksgiving goes around here in Detroit. And I know they're planning on moving that game to a 4:30 start as well. So that's the thing is like that stretch right there where they have to go out to Germany, play the Patriots, not an easy team. Then they have to come back Thanksgiving, play Chicago, not an easy team. Then they have to go play Tampa Bay the week after. That's not another easy team. Like, that's hard to do. 3 games in 12 days, that's cruel.
When the Lions were cooking with grease, they didn't necessarily need the best defense. What they had was the best offense, and then they had the best mind in the game at the coordinator position. And that's what
their offense definitely carries them,
100%. And the Lions were able to be carried by that offense. You saw the points that they were putting up in 23 and 24 and even parts of 25. I think you get back to a sense of that. And what I'm asking you is, how elite does this defense need to be when we believe that the offensive line is revamped? Kafka as well as Petzing will now help this rushing attack, will help this passing attack. You have a healthy Sam Laporta. You have the offense like you had in the past. Now you're creating points. Now you're putting people in the bind. Now you're making teams have to pass the ball.
Yeah, exactly
Like,
right.
does that help the defense out?
Well, it does for sure, and I do firmly believe that the Lions' defense was maybe 1 to 2 pieces away from actually getting better. All they needed was
Zadarius Smith.
All they needed was a solidified name who has
was a
proved
joke.
himself for a good portion of his career to fill that hole. And like, I'm not asking like, you know how that. Well, I know, but the LA Rams, for example, obviously they get the 2 best players at the position to fill their holes. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for someone solidified. Anson, stop, man, please. No.
What do you got to say?
Where's the pause button?
You've been over here quiet, Justin.
Fill
what
some
you got
holes,
to say,
B-Rag. Fill them holes.
I also want to point out with the offensive line, and you hinted on Kafka and Petzing. 2 things that I think that are getting overlooked about this offense is Petzing has led, like James Conner led the NFL in zone scheme runs, which is exactly what Jahmyr Gibbs is best at, and he was absolutely top of the line in the NFL at, but struggled in other concepts. And so when you bring in Petzing, who is going to be able to design plays for Jahmyr Gibbs and make him be as specialized and featured as he possibly can be to the utmost of his ability. Same thing with Jameson Williams. We look at Mike Kafka. Spenny's been saying it for months. The fact that he had the vertical passing game should be a lot better, considering so that improves the game for Jameson Williams, for Tesla. And then you talk about where the inside of the field, when you look at Petzing with McBride last year and Wilson, how he was able to control the middle of the field, like what he's going to be able to do with Laporta and St. Brown. I really think like that all of that is a perfect cooking to set up a great offensive season from the Detroit Lions. Obviously, that's not where the question marks are fully at. Yeah. But with a more competent offense last year, regardless of how bad the defense was, we still would have made the playoffs.
This is true. This is absolutely true. You definitely would have made the playoffs if there weren't for a couple of games, couple of situations, or that offensive line, which, regardless of Christian Mahogany or not, I think is revamped. It's a better version of itself. So.
I can't believe nobody said Dan Campbell.
Players, not former players.
I mean, like, on the O-line, how do we improve besides Blake Miller?
Cade Mays.
Well, you
okay, Mays. Okay,
I
completely. Okay, yes, okay, team in any position group. Yes, calm down. I forgot about him.
The man in black today's fired up.
But I'm just saying, like, has it really like improved that much? Like,
it's improved in this sense. You got last year at your center position, you had a guy to tell you flat out, this ain't even the position I like to play.
Oh, I know. No, I completely forgot about Mays. He's right about that.
So now you got
100%.
Mays. Now you got a guy that's still young. He's only year 5. Now he'll be getting better. I think he's a better center. You now take Panay off your right, put him on your left. You don't have to worry about your left tackle and Taylor Decker, who was aging last year, and you saw him start to show crinks in the armor.
He was.
Now you have Christian Mahogany, who wasn't the best version of himself last year, who I don't even think needed to necessarily be the starter for the whole year. But you sandwich him in between Panay Sewell and a better version of center. And now your right guard, Tate Ratledge, who has improved. We want to talk about Talik Williams. Tate Ratledge actually really did improve at the end of the season. You saw a better right guard and then right tackle. We know it's going to be growing pains for a young Blake Miller, but at the same time, we saw the professionalism, we saw the maturity in him, and Hank Fraley is the line coach. So I think just based off that, I think your offensive line is better. But how much better, that remains to be seen.
Right. I mean, I can't – where my expectation is where the O-line was in 2023 and 2024. Like, that's my expectations for the Detroit Lions. That is their identity. Well, that's literally their identity.
That's unfair.
I know it's unfair, but, like, we can – like.
But it's their fault, though, to your point.
Teams can – yeah, it kind of is. And that's what I'm saying is, like, that is where grit came from. That whole piece is the trenches. That's where it came from, where we pound the rock over and over and over again. That's how we win games. Back in the day, we didn't really need, like, our DBs were still horrible back in the day, and we made it to the NFC Championship. I'm saying back in the day, it was a long time ago. It was only 3 years ago. But we didn't need the elite defense like we needed now. Like, nowadays, you see it all the time more than anybody else, and I harp on it all the time, is we just need better pass rush, better run defense.
This is true, but I will say this to your point. Like, you got to have the defense on lock. If you don't believe me, Look at the Los Angeles Rams. Everybody's
Seahawks.
talking about how good they were last year. The Los Angeles Rams. They got Stafford. They got Puka. They got Devontae Adams. They got a two-head backfield in relates to Corum and Kyron Williams. That secondary struggled, and that secondary got his ass kicked last year. And you couldn't even get any pressure off the edge with the exception of Gerard Burns. So as good as that team was last year, they struggled on defense, and they got exposed in some spaces. So you're right. You got to have a defense to win. You want to keep this thing rocking and rolling, or we need a message in from Amnesia? You need to do your favor. You need to get your read ready. You got to prep yourself a little bit. Tote. And
let me tell you about Amnesia. 2 flavors, 1 device, 3 ways to enjoy it. As you can see, I just absolutely finished off. 174 hits on that thing. I probably
50,
just finished
60
it
more.
off. I can't lie. But it's the best in the game. Clog-free, smooth smoke. Good smoke as well. As you can see, my eyes are now retracting into my head. So make sure you enjoy Amnesia. They have great glass tip joints as well. So make sure you tap in for the top of the line cannabis experience in the great state of Michigan.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Join us for the biggest Detroit Tiger game this Wednesday, July 22nd at Art and Jake's in Shelby Township, as we get to see a young star, Kyder Montero, and a Detroit Tiger team continue to dominate the Chicago Cubs.
We're going to be going live at 8:05. Me, Nick, Rogelio Castillo of Tigers Minor League Report. Don't miss it.
Go Tigers!
Whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance, the team at a state's title agency, they can make sure the process goes smooth for you. Simple and convenient either. Over 20 years of expertise. This is when the B-side and his group, this is what they do. The expertise is there, the group is there, and to make you feel connected is there. They have late night closing as well as weekend closings. They want to make sure that they take all the issues, all the worry, all the concern out of the situation and make sure you can get that home, make sure you can refinance as easy as possible. So work with them, they'll work with you. For all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds.
And if you need to call someone about improving your relaxation game, there's no one better than Dr. Eric Duncan at the Massage Chair House. The Wellness Doc on YouTube with the largest showroom in the state of Michigan has premium inventory like the Pharaoh and the Osaki. Make sure you tap in with them today. They are great. Let me just say that.
And once you're relaxing in your massage chair, why not do it with a Buzzin' Energy in your hand, guys? We want to save you 30% off at Loom. 40 locations throughout the state, or you can order online, loom.com. But either way, we're going to save you 30% off your entire order. WSN is your code word, or just scan that QR code above my head. You can also mention that same code word in person. And again, you're going to get 30% off. They are loom.com.
Shout out to the Pharaoh. That was a very, very, very comfortable chair. The Pharaoh was elite.
I didn't get as much time as all y'all in there.
I only said it in one time, and it wasn't even at Woodward Sports. It was at the Massage Warehouse when I had to go for the commercial. So that was the first time I got to sit into the Pharaoh, African sports. There were a lot of people that were tripping about Lupita Nyong'o playing the two queens. She was a twin queen, and anyway, I digress. Matt LaFleur. If I would put him on that list over Dan Campbell, would the people have been mad?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. People hate LaFleur around here.
But
you might not even want to say that now.
There's an easy argument with a couple NFC championship appearances under his belt.
And that's why I brought it up. All right, I digress, but I bring this up. Is LeBron James going to the Miami Heat like we talked about last week?
Yeah, by the
seems
way,
like it.
Hey, two people in this room extremely right about that. Yes, sir, Braylon. Me and you, baby. Come on.
I offered up a $20 bet. Nobody took it. Nobody shook my hand.
I said bet good.
There's no way
We might
that's
have to go
actually
back to
that was open. That was a job opening. LeBron James introductory press conference, or that was
No, the
This
job
is
opening
a
was
PR
after it
slip.
happened.
They slipped and let this out. Today, they are looking for a new head.
Of YouTube thread.
Somebody
Fire
got
his ass.
fired.
100%.
Yeah.
Is this all but done?
Yeah. Because realistically, I mean, it just from all the optics points and even the make sense point, it just makes sense. Because you can get LeBron, like, in terms of like, the pay, you have to pay him an arm and a leg. There's still a place to win. The conversation about LeBron going to Golden State, you know what it lacked for me? It lacked an opportunity to win a championship.
Yep.
Like, I don't care what you talk about LeBron and his love and admiration for Steph Curry, and they were shooting
chasing
shit when they were in
legacy still.
France, and they're all man. No, LeBron won a ring. He wants to be in the best position to try to tie Kobe, or however you view that, with his 5th ring. And I think for him, it's Miami. He put him with Giannis as well as Bam, get some fillers. He'll be cost effective. And you patch the relationship with Pat Riley. I think LeBron is also trying to big chess, not checkers. Patch that relationship, and Pat Riley isn't stupid.
I think that, look, when you look at this roster, like the only thing about Miami that's really holding them back is the fact that Davion Mitchell is their starting point guard. So instead of that, we're going to put LeBron James there, and we're going to roll out him at the 1 with Giannis and Bam. Oh, just by the way, 2 of the top 10 defenders in all of basketball. So in my opinion, I think that this is the best move for LeBron. It makes way too much sense, and it was always going to be Miami.
What say you?
Well, I know that his
Anson's
wife wants to
sad.
go there, and I know that his daughter wants to stay in California. But the only question that I have is for our resident betting expert. Justin, can you bet the day that LeBron will announce on Kalshi or
You
Polymarket?
definitely can.
Because I'm putting my money on the 27th, guys. Right?
Well,
Am
that's
I
probably-
dumb here?
those
or
odds are
am I missing
probably, like-
something? I don't care what the odds are.
I don't
They
think there's
le-
a day. I think you
Listen,
probably just bet on
bet
LeBron.
on
They
him,
leaked the
bro.
Cavs. Guess who won?
I'd bet on
They
the
leaked the
28.
Knicks. Guess who won?
Oh, no, I
They
know.
leaked Jordan Walker. Guess who won?
Oh, I know.
Spain?
Did they leak that?
I mean, you guys talked about the picture.
Well, that was 20 years ago. They leaked that a long time ago.
I thought they leaked it recently, though.
Well, no, yeah,
Anybody
but no, this one, this is wild, man. I like. Is this just what we're going to be dealing with now? Does this allow people to bet on this stuff going forward? Because like, if you saw Jordan Walker during the home run competition, the Derby, you make that bet, you're cashing out. Like this is legit. There's got to be at least where's he going? Bet, double down, parlay, Miami on the 27th. Let's go.
Shout out, man. You know what else is legit? This show. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening, subscribing, liking, and doing all the things, engaging in conversation. No show without you. So we start there. We appreciate you, man. B Labs, we potato
Peace
Cam,
out.
Riley, Anson on the desk, and my right hand, Justin Satawa. I appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow. We'll have more info. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday?
It is.
We haven't done a top 10 in a while, man. Let's do a top 10 Thursday.
I know you'll cook it up.
Let's do a top 10 Thursday. I'll come up with something good. See you guys tomorrow.